can haunt you, like all those fans in Quebec City. The memory of the chosen one who refused to wear your colors. Nordic nightmares of a 2-game lead that evaporated. A hex that somehow gripped the franchise. Spirits that were never at ease with the fleur-de-lis. Just last year, there was that horrible New York night when the dream of success ended. The final act before giving way to the promise of a Rocky Mountain high.
Not missing by much. And hit the crossbar, scores! The Colorado Avalanche are moving on to the Western Conference Final.
For Detroit, the Spirits have an ancient lament. The 55 Cup was the last triumph. Jimmy Skinner was a much younger man then. 11 years later, the Wings were in the final and lost to the Habs. That was 30 years ago. The Demons have possessed Detroit ever since. In '93, the Leafs derailed their Stanley Cup Express. A year later, it was the Sharks. An enormous upset, another haunting reminder of a history of Wings woes. Last season, all the way to the final, only to lose to the Devils. And now, the exorcism continues.
Yzerman is turning and coming in. Another shot, score! Yzerman scores! Detroit wins the game. Detroit wins the series. And they go on.
Motown continues to rock to the beat of a Stanley Cup drive by the Detroit Red Wings. Joe Louis Arena right on the river is awash with expectation as the Wings meet Colorado in Game 1 of the Western Final. Get used to these faces. They are a cast of characters over the next 2 weeks of hockey. Detroit's captain, Steve Yzerman, Stevie Wonder. Yzerman got the Wings here, still searching for the Stanley Cup and on a mission. The high priest of playoff goalies, Patrick Roy, still got something to prove. He thinks in Colorado with the Avalanche, the Wizards, Avalanche of the Avalanche, an awesome attack from back of the blue line. And Osgood of the Wings, the top playoff goalie this year. That other Lemieux, once a Devil, Claudius remains a huge threat in the postseason. The Swedes, Calder winner Peter Forsberg is creative and he's deadly. Nicholas Lidstrom faces the Wings blue line attack. He has 11 points and no ordinary Joe Sakic, 13 goals to lead all playoff snipers. Well, welcome to No Ordinary Joe Louis Arena. Hi, everybody. This is the Western Final, and I'm Scott Russell. You know, the Wings and the Avalanche bring so much to the table. There is so much skill, and they play a fast brand of hockey. Don't blink, or you could miss this one. What a great cast of characters. As we said, there's so many more. Fedorov and Coffey and Primo and Kamensky. The list goes on and on. Two great coaches. Scotty Bowman, the winningest coach in National Hockey League history, leads the Wings. And Mark Crawford, last year's Jack Adams Award winner, has the Avalanche playing a great brand of hockey in the postseason. One more thing. Two great organizations who made some very big trades on the way to the Western Final. To start the season, the Avalanche acquired Conn Smythe winner Claude Lemieux. And Steve Thomas goes to Long Island. Wendell Clark, Sandis Ozolin from San Jose for Owen Nolan. The attack from the back gives Colorado an added dimension. And in a 5-player deal, Patrick Roy winds up in Denver, 2 Stanley Cups. Here's Mark Crawford.
Well, there certainly are significant deals. Cody comes in, and having won the Conn Smythe last year, he had tremendous confidence coming into this season. He's just carried it on. His leadership has been great in the room. He's a guy that will do anything to win. And I think that was something that was really needed on our team that has so much skill, and maybe the big asset that they needed most was a guy to show them how to do anything to win. Patrick obviously is a proven playoff performer, a great goaltender, and he gives us great leadership and a real presence in the room as well. And Mike Keane on that trade was a guy that's kind of quietly been a great leader for us too. Ozolin, on the other hand, has given us great offense from the defensive side. We didn't have a great offensive defense last year, and our production from the back end has increased significantly, easy for me to say, with the addition of Ozolin.
Only one Detroit deal, but it was hugely significant. Igor Larionov completes the 5-man Russian unit. Here's Scotty Bowman on that trade.
Igor gave us a lot of experience that we knew what he was like. We knew we were getting a player that we'd seen enough of him in the last 2 years when we played San Jose to know that, you know, he could fit into our team.
So Scotty Bowman of the Wings and Mark Crawford of the Avalanche. What a great cast of characters here for this one, and Joe Louis, including Bob Cole and Harry Neal in the booth. Fellas?
Thank you, Scott, and hello again, everybody. Yes, let's talk about those trades as far as Colorado is concerned, and let's zero in on one of them. Number 22 for Colorado, Claude Lemieux. He won the Conn Smythe Trophy, as you mentioned, last year, and I know Detroit are thinking about him.
Well, he scored 10 points already in the playoffs, and he's one of those players that thrives on the pressure and the atmosphere of the playoffs. Remember what he did to the Wings last year in the finals. He's big, he's strong, he's tough, he's fearless, and he's a little irresponsible. And all these traits add up to a player that's very difficult to play against.
When you talk about Sergei Fedorov, of course, here in Detroit, you're thinking about goal scoring. Mind you, he only had one goal in the St. Louis series, but as Wayne Gretzky mentioned to me, he had a heck of a series because he, too, can play the defensive game. He'll do that.
Well, he won the Selke Trophy 2 years ago for the best defensive forward. He's got to look after Sakic, and when he's not busy doing that, he'll have Forsberg to worry about. So his ability to play without the puck is going to be severely tested by these two Avalanche players.
Well, the first game of the best of 7 in the Western Conference Final coming up, and we'll be back at the Joe Louis Arena right after this.
Hit the road and rediscover Canada with Ford. Call 1-888-456-5555 for your free vacation guide to Canada.
96 WinStar. Who was talking? I got a do-over.
In golf, it's called a mulligan.
Fine, fine. Anti-lock brakes, dual airbags, no charge, quad captain's chairs. Mulligan?
Go ahead, give it a belt.
A little more power, eh? How about 200 horsepower? Mulligan?
Pick one up for $349 a month.
It's always been Ford.
Welcome back to Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. Two coaches who have been friends in the past, Mark Crawford and Scotty Bowman. They teaked their teams against each other in the Western Final. Here's Scotty.
Well, you just have to look at the regular season standings. They finished with 104 points. You have the 1-2 teams out of all the 26. Playoff hockey isn't the same as during the regular season, of course, but when you look at their record, you don't have to look any further than that. And what they've done as well against two good opponents in Vancouver and Chicago.
I'm with you.
Well, they're a talented group. We know that. We know that you have to show them a little bit of respect for their talent. We don't want to show them so much respect that we're just standing around watching them. I think that when we've gotten in trouble against this club, it's when we've done that, been a little bit in awe. We can't be in awe of these guys at all. We've got to go out, try to take the game to them, try and finish our checks, try and do a physical series as much as we can, because I think that no matter how you play it, but they probably play less effectively when it's physical as opposed to when you allow them to have their way.
Partners at the All-Star Game, rivals in the Western Final this afternoon. First period action from Joe Louis Arena in Detroit is next.
Summer sounds good, but it could sound even better. Oh yeah, the Coors Light Talking Can and Cap event. You could win the ultimate electronic playroom, a Bang & Olufsen audio system, a Sony TV, a compact Rosario, a cool phone, and a Walkman. Thousands of prizes to be won!
Look for specially marked cases or for entry without product purchase. Call 1-800-225-8255. Must be of legal drinking age.
So listen up this summer. The Coors Light Talking Can
And Cap event
sounds good.
I hear ya.
At just 99 cents or less for 5 minutes anywhere in Alberta, AGT's long-distance prices are at their lowest ever. 99 cents. It's simple to save. And with free air miles, travel miles, AGT long distance goes further than ever. AGT's always had the value. Now it has the price. 99 cents or less for 5 minutes anywhere in Alberta with an AGT savings plan. Evenings and weekends guaranteed. AGT long-distance prices are at their lowest ever in Alberta and Canada. Call us today.
Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. Brought to you by Molson Canadian, by Ford Motor Company of Canada Limited, and by Pepsi Stuff. People who drink it get it.
They are hopping at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. The Avalanche and the Red Wings are on the ice and just about ready for game number 1 of this Western Final. Greg Millen joins me now. And Greg, let's talk about something that everybody in this arena is talking about, goaltending. And how about Patrick Roy? He hasn't beaten the Red Wings this year.
That's right. Well, normally the regular season for me would not mean a whole lot in the playoffs, but Patrick Roy is on a mission. And it all started December 2nd in Montreal, where the Red Wings completely embarrassed Patrick Roy, and then he embarrassed himself afterwards when he was yanked by Mario Tremblay, and there he is as well, acknowledging the crowd. That was a bad night for Patrick Roy. We all know what happened afterwards. He was traded to the Avalanche, and ever since that day, he said to himself, I am out to make this trade a good one for the Avalanche, and there you can see he's still embarrassing himself off the ice, the well-known incident with Mario Tremblay. And he is out to make this trade a good one now for the Avalanche. And how does he do it? He told me last week, the only possible way I can make the trade look good is to play well in the playoffs and go a long way.
All right, Greg, and he takes on young Chris Osgood, the top playoff goalie this year. So far, he's in the wing net. Let's go upstairs for the first. Bob and Harry. Fellas?
Thanks again, Scott. Yes, the two teams are ready to go here at the Joe Louis Arena. So is the crowd. Patrick Roy getting himself ready. He had that big talk to the goalpost a little while ago from about 40 feet out, and the crowd got on him right away. At the other end, what a great story this young man has been for Detroit. Chris Osgood coming through that 7th game, pressure-filled 1-0 double overtime win. Don Koharski, the referee. We're underway. Rossiker and Brian Murphy on the line. Detroit. They usually start fast, and they shoot the puck in. Lefebvre, he's the steady defenseman, number 2. Colorado rolled it ahead. It got out over the line and slammed back in again. Detroit looking for that first goal. Colorado coming back at center. Kaminski, Forsberg, and Lemieux, the starting line up front, and here's Primo back in. McCarty and Yzerman with him. The starting trio up front for Detroit. Sakic on now. He's in. Lemieux going in front of the net. And Coffey has Sakic tied up, or does he? Sakic gets loose from Coffey, gets it back near the line. Fedorov's pass along the line nearly picked off. Marionov missed a chance to go in, and Coffey backs up for Detroit. Up for Fedorov. Avalanche close in on him in the center ice area. Osgood is out of the net. Scott Young stopped it, rolled off his stick. Kozlov poked it out, but there's Sakic again, dumping it in. The Avalanche making quick changes. 1.5 minutes into the first period. The goalies waiting for the first shot in this first game of the best of 7. Little ride in on the boards by LaPointe of Detroit. He gets loose back of the net. Gets the pass out. Detroit's Taylor moving up on it. He missed the back pass. Got by him and everybody else all the way down the ice. Konstantinov back. Icing called against Colorado.
Well, Mark Crawford is starting these 6 defensemen. He really is quite pleased with how his defense corps has improved as the season's worn on. And much like the Detroit Red Wings, 2 very dangerous offensive line, and then 6 forwards who have had a lot of experience and can really play without the puck. Joe Sakic, the hottest player in the National Hockey League playoffs, and Paul Coffey makes the turn to the outside as Sakic tried to beat him and rides him into the boards. And the rush is stopped.
Face off and rolled in at the side of the net. Oh, didn't have to play it. Avalanche on it. Cleared into the zone by Mike Keane, number 25. He went in there and nailed Fetisov hard in the corner. Tough Mike Keane. Big Fetisov upended in on the boards. An icing called against Detroit now. That was the first good hit in this game.
Well, the Colorado Avalanche think that you can make some ground if you hammer, especially the Red Wing defense core. And we saw Fetisov take a real good shot there. Not playing today for the Red Wings, Chris Draper's out with a shoulder injury, and they'll miss him. He was one of the better competitors, I thought, against St. Louis. And here's the hit that you were referring to, Bob. Mike Key rides Fetisov into the boards and gives him a shot at the end to knock him down.
Sakic is back out again for Colorado. Primo poked the puck ahead. It's cleared out of the zone by Detroit. Avalanche to pick it up on the right side. Knocked down. Clem tried to move up on it and could not. Long shot by Ciccarelli off his stick and into the crowd.
Well, Scotty Bowman was saying he thought the Avalanche really looked sharp in practice yesterday. They've been off for 6 days. And at this time of the year, any layoff over 3 days may get in the way of you playing the way you want to play for the first period of the first game back. I think Bowman would like to have had one more day off, as they didn't have quite enough time to prepare the way they wanted to for this round. Mark Crawford, I think, a little concerned about matching up against one of the great line matchers among the coaches, Scotty Bowman.
From the face-off just inside the line, Detroit winning the draw. Coffey can't get the shot through. Clem is coming to center. Not across the Detroit line, and they go in there on the offside. I know Osgood and Waugh are kind of concerned about the way this game has started. Nearly 3 minutes. No shots.
Well, Paul Coffey, who was on the receiving end of some thundering body checks against St. Louis, he gets a little taste of the same medicine right here as Ozolinch. Blasts them against the glass just as Coffey got rid of the puck.
Greg Johnson, number 23, won the face-off for Detroit. Bergevin tried to move up. Johnson takes it over the line. Johnson has Taylor with him. Couldn't set him up. Bergevin waits, shoots it back in. Johnson gets back on the side. Tip to center. Sakic just missed it at center ice. Coffey was there for Detroit, and he starts away. Dropped it back, a little too far back. Bergevin again rolled it ahead. Shot in by Brown. Right on. And very quickly, Patrick was down, holding on to it. No score.
Wait a minute. Why is he paying less for the same sweater?
Oh, sir, he's paying with his Royal Bank Visa Classic.
I don't think I can remember, Bob, more people, fans, management, and teammates who were happier for a guy that got the big goal to put him in this round than they were for Steve Yzerman, who's been criticized in the past of not being able to perform in the playoffs the way he does in the league. I think he silenced those critics the other night.
That's Lecision back to the net for Colorado. Got it ahead. They haven't had a shot on goal yet. This Avalanche team. They played 3.5 minutes. Detroit has only had one. So it's, I guess you'd have to say, a cautious start, although they're trying. They had 1 or 2 rushes nullified on the offside.
Well, the Avalanche certainly have something the Red Wings don't have, and that is they have 2 players who have won 3 Conn Smythe trophies as the playoffs most valuable player. Patrick Waugh did it in '86 and again in '93, and Claude Lemieux came out of the weeds of the bull rushes in New Jersey to lead them to their first Stanley Cup last year after a very so-so season. Hard to imagine that a Conn Smythe trophy winner gets traded the summer of the year that he won that trophy.
Joe Sakic comes to center ice for Colorado against Larionov. Young poked it back. The Avalanche winning the draw, and now quickly Fetisov picked it up and tried to hit Larionov. Skating to center. Wow, it was very cool watching that one go by him. That's an icing call against Detroit. Larionov way up at center ice behind everybody, but he missed it.
Well, this is going to be a real test for both teams' defense corps, because I don't think in these playoffs yet they've faced the kind of speed that the forwards on both teams confront them with. And the elder statesman of the Red Wing defense corps, Fetisov, is going to find out. He's going to have to move those 38-year-old legs a little quicker, facing some of these Colorado speedsters.
Belted already. A stiff check in the corner in his own zone, thrown by Mike Keane. No score. Just over 4 minutes gone. First period. Quick shot. Colorado on the attack, and Young didn't see the pass come out. And the Red Wings clear it out to center ice. Very good chance for Colorado. Puck picked up by Kozlov. An errant pass by the Avalanche. Couldn't do much with it, though. Fedorov is going after it. Kozlov with him on the other side. Larionov. Lidstrom at the blue line with Coffey. Colorado moving it out. Coffey was pinching in, and he got caught in there, but Larionov was aware of that, and he moved back. Kozlov to Coffey. Full stride. Coffey hooked it in with a skate. But the pass didn't work. Young knocked it to center for Keane, who'll turn back for the Avalanche. Go back again. Gusarov moving up, got it up as far as center. It's backhanded in by Yell. He's on it again. Yell fired it back to the net for Ricci. Can't center it. He's tied up. Got a skate on it. He fell. So did Yell. And Lapointe couldn't get the puck by the man at the blue line. Gusarov shot it in deep. Detroit back there trying to clear, and they do get it out. Just missed at the line by Ozolinch. Out of the net, Osgood. Red Wings find him forechecking now. Down goes Ozolinch. Penalty coming up. They have played 5:33 of period 1. No score. The first penalty of this game. It's a tripping call at 5:33. It happened like this.
Ozolinch pitches in, and he's knocked down by Fetisov, and then when Taylor gets tailing it out of the zone, you can see Ozolinch stuck a stick out and tripped him. Detroit's 15 for 80 in the playoffs, 6 for 27 during the season against the Avalanche.
Yzerman is on the ice, and he has the puck through center. Yzerman moving up over the line, gets in the slot. He'll shoot it from there. On a sharp angle, comes out of it. Coffey will give it back to him. Now he centers it. Gets it again. Yzerman back to the line. The shot. Score! 1-0 Detroit. Waugh got a piece of it, but not enough.
In front of the net. Gusarov can't quite get him out of there. And does Ciccarelli tip it? He certainly does screen it. As you're going to see in a minute, Patrick Waugh could not see this whole shot. One-timer by Coffey, and that's one of the things that really helped score this goal, because nobody could set up, because Coffey whacked the pass across, put it on the net, and as you say, Bob, Patrick Waugh got part of it, but not enough of it.
Right now, they give it to Coffey. A shot from the blue line. Yzerman an assist. Fedorov also in on that first goal of the hockey game, first goal of the series. 1-0. The Red Wings are leading on a power play goal by Paul Coffey. Avalanche, 3 of them offside at the Detroit line. Coffey set up at the blue line. Yzerman did a tremendous amount of work on that power play. Hit Coffey, threw it back 4 or 5 times. Ciccarelli was in front of. Did it hit a skate?
I don't know what it hit, but you're going to see that Patrick Waugh couldn't really get his eye on this shot. as Cicerelli does a terrific job of maintaining his position in front of the goalie. Gusarov tried hard to get him out of there, but Cicerelli, once he plants those feet, gets that low center of gravity working for him, he's hard to move.
Given a goal to Coffey, a clean shot through. They roll 1-0. Detroit, power play goal. Avalanche in the box. Fedorov, captured by the referee. And Coffey gives it to Kozlov. Fedorov moving up. He won't get there in time, and Young is backhand with Denmark right behind him. Gets him with a shot. Stopped by Osgood. His first big test. Red Wings clear it out. Knocked down in the center ice area by Adam Foote. Goes to Gusarov, back up to center, and Sakic is there and can't find it. Went through his skates and behind him. Didn't know where it was. Marianov, point, nailing Denmark on the boards. Up to center, Lemieux, his pass. Forsberg rolled one in across the line. Konstantinov is after it, takes a bump, keeps going, and then he was nailed. There's going to be another penalty against Colorado. It's a charging call. Another power play coming up.
Here's the 97 Escort. It's all brand new. We've got a sedan and a big wagon, too. Both have more power than they did in the past, with new four-door styling that's sure to last. Each have dual airbags if danger comes knocking, and new premium speakers to keep you rocking. Plenty of room and handsome good looks. The decision is easy. There's just one hook. With two cars this great, you'll have to think twice. For both sedan and wagon are exactly the same price. See the bear? Taste the food. See the bear? Taste the food. The Team Burger, a specially seasoned patty covered with processed cheddar and crisp, smoky bacon. See the bear?
The charging penalty is against Peter Forsberg, and what a smack it was.
Boy, it sure was. That's why opposing coaches drool when they see this guy Forsberg play. He can handle the puck. He's tough. And he makes other people drool and their eyeballs roll around the wrong way when they hit you like that.
So it is 1-0 Detroit on their first power play of this hockey game. Goal by Coffey, and now they're on their second.
But you're not going to scare this guy 16. He took an awful wall up there, and he'll file that away. And before this series is over, Forsberg will find out that Konstantinov has a bit of a mean streak as well.
Yzerman and Fedorov close together on this faceoff. Cicerelli is on the right wing. Coffey takes the puck in his own zone. Lidstrom, the other man on the power play for the Red Wings, and up they come. Fedorov across center. Back to the open side. Coffey waits at the blue line, and it's hooked by him and down the ice. 30 seconds gone in the penalty against Forsberg. Off for charging. 1-0 Red Wings, and they're moving up. Shot in smartly by Yzerman. Out of the net, Patrick Waugh nearly got caught. Yzerman cruising in front of the goal. Fedorov gets a quick pass back to the line. Lidstrom throws it back to him. Fedorov will wait to set it up. Tried to hook it over in front of the net. Yzerman back to Lidstrom. Yzerman again, coming in, shoots. Hard shot, but he missed the net. Coffey shot it back at the goal. Clawed down, snapping Yzerman. Coffey shot. That's to flick it away from Waugh. Great pressure by Detroit, leading 1-0. Cicerelli dropped it. Fedorov dropped it. Yzerman on the boards. A lot of time. Goes to Lidstrom. Goes to Coffey. substitution, or maybe Lefebvre is going to get the penalty, dropping the Detroit player, and oh goodness, 29 seconds left in the Forsberg penalty. Now Lefebvre goes, and this crowd is really rolling.
Dino Ciccarelli, what a performance here. Sylvain Lefebvre, one of the better defensemen at this, is giving Dino everything he can handle. Who knows where the puck is? Who knows if Roy can see it? And finally, after watching a 2 out of 3 fall match, Lefebvre is fingered for the roughing penalty. Roughing, a very underrated definition of that battle.
Mark Crawford does not like that call. His team down another 29 seconds. The penalty to Forsberg, and now Lefebvre is in the box. Detroit is leading 1-0, having scored on a power play back at the 6-minute mark. And this crowd is roaring for more scoring. 3 Avalanche on there in front of Roy. The 5 Red Wings. Konstantinov from the line. Backs off a bit, winds up. No shot. Fetisov lost it. Cleared back in front. Larionov centered it. Another shot by Larionov. Loose puck is cleared all the way down the ice. 5 seconds left in Forsberg's penalty. Shot to center. Larionov dropping it back. In goes Primo. Primo gets over the line. Written in on the board by Gusarov. Konstantinov left it. He hit his man hard. Fetisov lost it. Colorado moving up short-handed. The shot deflected into the crowd. Forsberg and Konstantinov had something going. Forsberg hit him again behind the net. We've reached the halfway mark of the first period. 1-0 Red Wings, and 1:10 left on their power play.
Well, Patrick Wall looks pretty sharp to me. He's been through all this many times before, of course. And he's got some people that are trying to make sure he can't see all the shots. 78-46 his playoff record. He's won 62% of his playoff games. And he makes 2 or 3 big saves here. But you have to like the look of the Colorado defense corps. They've been pinned in their own end for most of this first period. And Adam Foote has developed into a dependable defenseman back on the blue line for the Avalanche.
Stefan Yell on the faceoff, aimed short, stayed in deep. Coffey starting Fedorov away, gets to center and across the line. Fedorov stopping, backhands it in, back of the goal it goes. Ciccarelli left it there. Yzerman and Ciccarelli pass it around to the line. Lidstrom. Ciccarelli heads for the net. Yzerman sees him in there, and he winds up. Doesn't shoot it. Here's the shot. Ciccarelli couldn't make contact. He had the open side. 35 seconds left in the penalty. To Lefebvre. 1-0 Detroit. They look to add on this power play. The Avalanche. Good cool. Clear it down deep. Cannon went up there trying to find it. Red Wings pick it up. 15 seconds left on their power play, and they start away. Coffey took it on his skate. Rolled it to one side, and Erie is in there. Erie turning at the line. The backhand shot back to Erie, and he's covered before he could shoot it a second time. Coffey was hurt. He's going to the Detroit bench. Clamp dumping it in. The penalty has expired. Avalanche have killed it off, but they're down 1-0. On the first power play, Coffey scoring at the 6-minute mark from Yzerman and Fedorov.
Back with Pierre Lacroix, general manager of the Colorado Avalanche. And Pierre, I know you've made 3 significant trades this season. Any way to rate which one is the most important to your team?
Well, the team responded so well as far as any other trade, and as far as the team on its own, we played great the whole season, and that's what counts.
What about the first period? Your team's got into a little bit of penalty trouble. How do you like the trend so far?
Well, it's smelling good. They had a fluky goal, deflection goal. I mean, we're in the game. I'm no concern.
All right, good luck to you, Pierre.
Thank you.
Guys.
Faceoff will come inside the Detroit line. That's Fedorov bending over, getting ready. 8:32 left. First period, 1-0 Detroit. Fedorov a little anxious. Controls his man all right. And jumps up on the rush. Fedorov shoots it in wide of Patrick Roy. Then try to dump it back to the point man. Deadmarsh got it out of the zone for Colorado. Fedorov went in after it again. Comes across center. Fedorov once more. This time back to the head. Was stopping this. Right. Foot coming out. Sakic saw the hit coming. Had to duck away from Yzerman. Fetisov's low shot. Just missed the far post. Detroit on the attack. And looking pretty good in this first period. Red Wings give it back to Lidstrom. He passed it in front. McCarty was upended trying to reach for the puck in front of the net. All the way down the ice. 12:30 gone, first period. Detroit back. Nobody open, so they just shoot it away. Drifted back in. This time it's cleared through center. Primo missed that pass at center ice. Forsberg takes a hit from Primo. The crowd enjoying that hit at center ice. LaPointe with Primo on the move. He didn't see the pass coming from behind. And now as good as out of the net. Leaving it to one side. Ramsey started to play. Red Wings get it to center. Now Colorado starting to check a little better. Red Wings unable to get that flow going. And again they have to dump it out to center ice. Gusarov in his own zone. Got it ahead. Coffey, time to move it. Larionov circling back. Kozlov is with him and takes it. Back to Larionov. Kozlov and Larionov get together to bring it in, and Kozlov is upended before he could get to the net. There goes Cicerelli, a centering pass. Colorado covering up. The Avalanche move it back to center, and it's fired in by John Clem. Quick shot, stopped on the short side by Osgood. Red Wings try to move it out. Kozlov had a chance and didn't get it out over the line. Then couldn't keep it in. The play will go on. Red Wings had shot at the center ice, and now Coffey with the two teams changing. Around the net. Misfired on the first rush attempt. And a stop to pick it up. And again, everybody covered, so he shot it away. Precision back. And that's an icing call against the Red Wings with 5:35 remaining in period one.
Well, Paul Coffey, with that goal he scored on the power play earlier in this first period, goes by or ties Denny Potvin for most goals in the playoffs by a defenseman. And when you look at the other names on this list, you can see Potvin and Coffey have been highly successful at the most difficult time of the year to be successful. And Paul Coffey has been the target of many a Colorado player already in this series, and we know against St. Louis.
From the line, Dewey Krupp's high shot. Over the net, down the ice from McCarty, racing in. He's right in. Oh, the roll by the open side like a pretty game. And Primo came close. Colorado getting away with a fierce rush by the Red Wings there. Avalanche dump it in. They go after it. Centering pass in front of Sakic. Can't get a shot, but he gets a penalty called against Detroit. Sakic was tied up in front of the net, turning in an effort to make the backhand. Couldn't do it.
Well, this is the first power play opportunity for the Colorado Avalanche. The penalty is going to go to Nicholas Lidstrom for interference. And so the Colorado power play, which is 13 for 68 in the playoffs. And you would think that they could put 5 guys out there that could make that puck talk.
Well, they haven't been able to get too much of a flow going so far in the game. Scotty Bowman has his charges all fired up. And I'm sure telling them to be careful of people like Sakic and Forsberg and Kamensky and Deadmarsh.
A great play by McCarty here to fight off possession to create the 2-on-1 rush. It was very well played by the defenseman. You can see who took the pass away. Yui Krupp. And then Primo comes in behind the play and gets his stick on a puck that got out in front of the net and couldn't put it in.
Detroit get the face-off in the zone, but they don't move it quickly. Taylor had a chance. So did Ramsey. Lemieux on the boards, leaving it with Forsberg doing the work, and a penalty coming up again against Detroit. I'm not sure if it's Ramsey. Well, just a second. Lemieux might be getting it. Yeah, it's a cross-check called against Lemieux of Colorado.
He knocked the Red Wing player down from behind. And so Colorado are getting themselves in a little penalty trouble here in the first 15 minutes of the game. Here he comes right here on Konstantinov. Lemieux has absolutely no conscience once the game starts. And sometimes he forgets.
Well, he forgot.
He takes a foolish penalty.
He forgot that Koharski was parked right behind him and couldn't miss that.
I don't know whether he forgot, Bob. I think he saw a great opportunity to give it to Konstantinov, who's not above that same move. And there is Koharski over talking to the Colorado bench and Mark Crawford, or the trainer. Perhaps he's getting a little first aid treatment from the trainer.
So Mark Crawford and Colorado Avalanche had 16 seconds of a power play. It's over now.
Well, nobody's hurt. It's the mask of Patrick Waugh. You remember against Chicago, he had trouble with it. And you wonder whether this is an opportune time to get this little delay. So Mark Crawford gets his choice of any 5 skaters, or any 4 skaters, to go out there and play a long stretch of 4 skaters against 4. And there's a minute 45 left in Lidstrom's minute.
Scotty Bowman and the Red Wings are leading in this first period. 1-0 on a power play goal scored by Coffey at the 6-minute mark. Great execution on that power play with Yzerman, Fedorov, and Coffey passing it around before Coffey got the goal.
Well, you can see that the mask needs some repair work on the, I think that holds the little shield up that goes down and protects the neck of the goaltender. We've got a lot of guys working on it, that's for sure. Stefan Facette is the assistant carpenter, and the Colorado equipment man is the man in charge. And Patrick Waugh is going to get his revamped mask and helmet ready to go again. 4 skaters against 4, 1-0 Red Wings, 4:50 to go in the first period. The first goal has been a mighty important goal for the Wings in these 96 playoffs. They are 7 wins and 1 loss when they score it, and 1 win and 4 losses when they don't.
All right, the faceoff will be just outside the Detroit line. Fedorov and Larionov go to the bench. And Yzerman comes on with Kozlov for Detroit. Joe Sakic for Colorado. Foot is to his right. He's the defenseman. Adam Deadmarsh, number 18, is on the left side. And Koharski is spotting some more penalties.
Adam Foote and Paul Coffey exchanged harmless little gloves-on punches. And for that, they will both go to the penalty box.
So the pace undoubtedly will be slowed now with the brief parade to the penalty bench area. There's Coffey. He has scored the only goal of this first period on a power play. We have 4:45 remaining in this, the first period. Right off the face-off. Young went in with a low shot, and Osgood was sharp to stop it. Well, they are 4-on-4 now, and a lot of talent out there can use this room to do a little magic maybe. Fedorov is one of them, and he's in there, but stopped. Red Wings keep it inside the line. Fedorov's pass, backhand shot, wad down, and Young will clear it away. Up to Sakic. Coming up there is Yui Krupp. Set it up for Young, the backhand, and Sakic takes it up the board to Young in front of the net. Cleared by Krupp to center ice. 1-0 Detroit. 4-on-4 hockey, folks. Kozlov coming in, but the play is called in behind the rush.
Penalty coming up here to the Detroit player for tripping. Not sure who's going to get it, but Adam Foote was hauled down.
Fetisov is making his way to the box.
And that allowed the Red Wing player, Greg Johnson, to get away with a bit of a dangerous rush. So the penalties have come fast and furious, and the tempo's been taken right out of this game. And here it is coming up. Foote goes down right there. And then not Johnson. Kozlov was the guy that roared away on a dangerous rush that was negated by the referee's whistle.
So, the Vyacheslav Fetisov in the penalty box. And a great chance for Colorado now to tie the hockey game. 4-on-3. They had a very brief 16-second power play earlier in the period. Forsberg, Deadmarsh. They're up there for Colorado. Cleared back into the zone goal. Sakic on the ice for the Avalanche. And starting out for them are Brest. Coming to center is Kamensky. Bumped along the boards by Ramsey. And the Red Wings shoot it down the ice. Lidstrom has 27 seconds left in his penalty. Colorado move up. Pass goes in front. Oh, and a great chance right in front of the net for Ozelich. Gets it again. Shoots. Hit the goal post. Another shot. Hit the crossbar, I think. They do everything but put the puck in the net. Osgood was down and out of it. Colorado come back in. Sakic on the boards. Shot it into the corner. Lidstrom's penalty is over. Fedorov gaining some speed, and he's stick handling up there. Back out to center ice, forced back there by Young. And it's fired inside the Colorado line. Red Wings are changing with 2:40 left in the opening period. They're leading 1-0. Ozelich made it in too far for Lemieux, and Lidstrom is back to the net. Cleared it quickly out to center. Larionov leaving it for Big Primo, and he's coming in. Trying to drop it back. Carried in on the boards. Larionov takes it. He's tied up. And Lemieux gets it out of the zone for Colorado. His rink-wide pass. Gets in there for Deadmarsh, and he centered it. Osgood diving on it. No further play with 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the first period here in Detroit.
Canadian Tire has great prices on everything you need. Plus, earn Canadian Tire money with every cash purchase of merchandise. Canadian Tire. Everyday low prices made better.
Well, Chris Osgood twice looked like a sure goal against. Here's Ozelich. He lies him right down and roars it off the side of the net. And look at this shot right here. It hit Osgood in the helmet as he dove back. It may have been going over the net, but it may have gone under the bar. So Osgood makes a heads-up stop.
Face off to his left. 1-0 Detroit. The Coffey goal on a power play. At the blue line, it's shot in back to the net. Yell went in there, and he's held on the boards by Ramsey. Puck came loose, though, and Konstantinov Takes his time. Shot it ahead. Red Wings unable to keep going. Erie falls. Huey Krupp put it right in on the net from center ice. Hardy missed a chance to move up. Here comes Detmarsh. Took a whack at it. Got over near the net. Erie covered his man in front. Forsberg. And at the half left of the period. 3 players in on the boards. Keane got it loose. Shot to the line and knocked back of the net again. Erie had a notion moving out. He didn't. Quick shot by Detmarsh is blocked. Ramsey coming up big on that play, falling in front of the shot.
Well, Mike Ramsey's one of the better shot blockers in the National Hockey League, and he possibly saved a goal with that one after a bad clearing pass from behind the Red Wing net. And here it is right here. The puck bounces off the stick of the Colorado player right in the slot to the Adam Detmarsh, and who knows whether that puck would have gone in. Ramsey makes the save.
Coming up in our first intermission, the teammates of Steve Yzerman get a chance to talk about him in our feature on the captain of the Red Wings, Steve Yzerman. The big goal in Game 7, double overtime against St. Louis. 1 minute left in the period. Left point racing hard. Red Wings working hard and beating Colorado to the puck. Adam Foote in on the boards and can't move it. Now it comes loose and Sakic tries to come out, and behind the play Don Koharski has called another penalty. 1 for sure, maybe 2. Colorado will be getting 1 of the penalties if in fact 2 have been called, but right now it looks like just the 1.
Adam Foote for elbowing, and here it comes right here as he's tangled up behind the net with Fedorov, and then the old elbow shot knocked the helmet off Fedorov, and for that he'll serve 2 or less with 44 seconds to go in the first period. Referees have a tough call on guys that wear loose helmets. Shane Corson's helmet must have come off 15 times the last round, and Fedorov's came off there, and if you just caught that out of the corner of your eye, you might have thought, boy, there was a vicious elbow.
19:16, the time of the penalty to Adam Foote of Colorado. You mentioned, Harry, the Avalanche running into some untimely penalties. This one in the final minute of play in the first period. They're trailing Detroit 1-0, and now have to kill this one off. And it's Primo getting the zone. Primo coming for the net and backing up, banking it back to Coffey. The quick shot. That did not miss by much off the stick of Lidstrom. Primo rolled it to the far corner. It'll be Coffey and Lidstrom speeding on it. Yzerman shot blocked by Roy. Good shot by Yzerman. 5 seconds left in the period. They try to get it out front for 1 more goal. But the horn goes to end the first period with the Red Wings pressuring the Colorado Avalanche again. A shot 7-5 in favor of Detroit. Coffey, the only goal on the power play at 6 minutes after 1. The Red Wings 1. Colorado, nothing.
Conservation authorities have helped maintain the delicate balance between
Harry Neal in the booth at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. The Red Wings on a power play in the first period got a goal scored by Coffey, and that came at the 6-minute mark. The shots by Detroit 8 and by Colorado 5. Joel Quenneville mentioned it. Harry mentioned it during the period. The penalties were a factor for Colorado in that first 20 minutes.
Well, it's not easy to be as aggressive as the Colorado Avalanche think they should be against this Red Wing team and stay out of the penalty box. And that is the assignment that Mark Crawford and his Avalanche players have. I think it's a good idea to be tough on the wing forwards especially, but you're not very tough from the penalty box. Scotty Bowman fully expected the Avalanche to come at him physically. And I think St. Louis taught the Red Wing players one thing. You can play through that if you make your mind up to do it.
When you look at the last series, the 6th and 7th game against St. Louis, Osgood in double overtime. He has a streak now, a shutout streak of 105 minutes and 3 seconds. That's marvelous. Red Wings hope that continues. And they move up. 5 of them on the power play to start the second period. Under a minute left, just under a minute left in the penalty to Colorado. Centering pass, Lidstrom in close. Ball was down, he couldn't hit the mark. Coffey misses his at the blue line, and it's Lidstrom taking it from Coffey. Back to Coffey. That's broken up, cleared by Gusarov. They come in 2-on-1. Yell, great move. Oh, they scored. Coffey knocked it in his own net. Out of the net was Osgood. Coffey was left in front, and he thought he was clearing it off his stick and in. A short-handed goal for Colorado. We're tied at 1.
Well, Osgood had no chance on it. Coffey made a bad pass to start this problem in the center zone. And here it comes right here. And the pass never got to the Red Wing player, and you can see Coffey's now trapped and can't get back on the rush. The 2-on-1 is nicely played by Lidstrom. He stalls Yell off long enough till Coffey came in, and Coffey didn't even pick the corner, Bob.
Straight to the center of the net. Well, that ties the game at 1. Yell will get the goal. Clem drills another one for Osgood. We're tied at 1 now, and 10 seconds left in the penalty to the Avalanche.
5-point.
Konstantinov around his own net. Clearing pass comes to center. Marianov. Ringo knocked down on the boards. Colorado move up. Forsberg, ever dangerous. Dropping it back to the line and going after it behind the net. Osgood, however, was out in a hurry, giving it to LaPointe. And he got it up to center ice. Penalty is over. They're at full strength. Avalanche move in. The hard shot is stopped by Osgood. Drilled from the wing, right on the net.
Claude Lemieux's a little upset. The Red Wing stick was stuck right underneath his sweater, the stick of Fetisov, and it looked like one of those old biblical movies when Ben-Hur was pulling the spear out of his chest and begging for a penalty at the same time. Let's have a look at it here. A lovely pass by Forsberg right on the stick of Lemieux. Now, he shoots it, and then he goes to the net hunting for the rebound. Watch this. There's the stick. It's under his uniform. It's under his shoulder pad. He's worried he may pull his heart out when he gets it.
You can't fault Osgood, but we mentioned the shutout streak he had. His Coffey beat him cleanly. 1:05 minutes, 47 seconds. Tremendous. Konstantinov on the bench. Face off to the left of Osgood. A 1-1 tie now here in the second period. McCarty takes it in his own zone and starts the Red Wings out to center. Fedorov is stopped near the line by Lefebvre. Ozelinch back to the net. Coming away. The pass gets loose at center ice. Forsberg is moving up. Kaminsky's shot is away wide of the net, and he did not get too much on it. Colorado forechecking. Forsberg picks it up. Comes off the boards and rolled into the side of the net right in front. And a great save by Osgood. Cleared away by Erie. Got it down the ice. Chris Osgood coming up big for Detroit. Colorado looking much better here to start the second period. They have tied the game on a shorthanded goal. Lefebvre backhands it in. Sakic giving chase. In on the boards. The Red Wings pick it up and skate out with it. Shot off. Larionov in wide of the net and to the corner. Kozlov looking forward. Found it, but too late. And the Avalanche got it back out. Have to do it again. Foot takes it around the net. Coming away with Sakic to his right. Foot gaining some speed and getting up to the Detroit line. That's where he stopped. Bergevin stopped him in his tracks. And the Red Wings roll it in. Fedorov bumped on the play. Deadmarsh ahead to Sakic, eluding a hit. Following the play is Gusarov. Got it up as far as center. The Avalanche poke it in on Osgood, and he clears it himself. Falling was Fedorov, but he knocked it the rest of the way down the ice. Decision around the goal and coming away. 4 attacking defensemen now for Colorado. Bumping in on the boards is Mike Keane. Got the puck loose, but the Red Wings in possession. Long carrying pass, didn't get too far after all. It's shot in for the point. Went behind him, he stopped. Put it around the boards. Taylor picks it up, left it back of the net, it's centered again. And cleared out of the zone quickly. Krupp has to hurry back. And he does. Takes his man in on the boards. Detroit, keep it in. 1-1 tie, nearing the 5-minute mark of the second period. Ricci in his own zone. He left it for Yell. He was hit. Decision, lifted a high one down the ice. They want to make changes, and they'll get time to do that now, as that's an icing call against Colorado Avalanche.
Summer sounds good, but it could sound even better. Oh yeah, the Coors Light Talking Can and Cap event. You could win the ultimate electronic playroom, a Bang & Olufsen audio system, a Sony TV, a compact Rosario, a cool phone, and a Walkman. Thousands of prizes to be won.
Look for specially marked cases, or for entry without product purchase, call 1-800-225-8255. Must be of legal drinking age.
So listen up this summer. The Coors Light Talking Can and Cap event sounds good.
I hear ya.
His first goal of the 96 playoffs. I know this won't help Paul. Every defenseman who's played long enough has shot the puck into his own net. Perhaps not as elegantly as Coffey did right there. Paul will get it back if you give him time.
That came at 44 seconds. A shorthanded goal. Credited to Yell, his first of the playoffs. Ties the game at 1. Cannon moving up to center, falls to the ice as he was hit. Lefebvre is back. And they start out. Forsberg tried to feed it in for Kamensky. Broken up by Detroit. Primo turns back to center. Dropped it to Yzerman. He's in on the wing. Trying to beat Adam Foote now. Yzerman falls. Red Wings center it. No shot by Erie. Hit a stick in front of Patrick Waugh. Foote drills one from center ice. Osgood out of the net, stopping it back there. 5.5 minutes into the second period. In a tie game. Long tearing pass by Fedorov. Harmless. And that's an icing charged against Detroit.
Well, the Red Wings did a wonderful job in the first period. They allowed the top 5 playoff scorers of the Colorado Avalanche only one shot on goal. Lefebvre, who has one of the longest hockey sticks in the National League, and he gets it and uses it effectively. And he credits Jacques Laperriere, the defenseman who knows a little bit about the game, who, when he gets a young defenseman coming out of junior, he pleads with him to use a long stick with a deep blade and the longest legal blade. And says you'll be surprised how many times you get that big long instrument in the right spot.
1-1 tie. Gusarov drilling one. Didn't get too far. Standing right in front of him was Fedorov, and he comes back with a little point. The point coming in, shooting right on. And Waugh standing up to that. Lidstrom at the blue line had to hurry to keep it in. Now covering on the play is Klim, and he got it out. Comes right to Osgood, and he'll not take any chances. Down on it with Simon getting in close to him.
Well, when Pierre Lacroix, the general manager of Colorado, decided he needed Stanley Cup quality goaltending, he went out and made the deal for Patrick Waugh. And look at the number of games he's played, and here's a typical Patrick Waugh stop. Gets out to the top of the crease, square to the shooter. Good job by Ozolinsh to take that Red Wing player going to the net, and so Patrick didn't have to worry about him and made a difficult chance look like an easy stop.
Nearing the 6-minute mark now, the second period in Game 1. Western Conference Final. Detroit, Colorado. Everybody promises a great series. Up to center, Gusarov stopping Ciccarelli and dumping it in. Detroit swinging back, Bergevin couldn't get it by Yell. Yell on the boards against Larionov. Can't get the puck off the boards. They hold it there. The referee hollering to move it, but can they? Yes, they do. It comes right back to the Nasher board. Finally, rooted out by Ciccarelli and dumped away. Adam Foote. Back to Gusarov. Around the net, Larionov is forechecking for the Red Wings. The puck is cleared down the ice, and Konstantinov is back. Rolled it away. Fetisov took his man. Red Wings are moving in. Larionov, poke check near the line. And it's cleared back to center ice. Larionov didn't see it. Ciccarelli did. He went in after it. Turning in the corner and got it back with a shot from the line high. Here comes Young. Out for the Avalanche. Shot it in over the Detroit line. Red Wings back. Konstantinov starting the play. Didn't get too far. Forsberg turning away from Fetisov. And the big defenseman caught him. Tries to hold him now. Forsberg working well on the boards and got it out. Young missed it. And the puck rolled to center ice. 7:40 gone in the second. 1-1 tie. Shot away by Colorado, and that's an icing call as Fetisov was back to pick it up.
It's like having...
One of the great Canadian hockey trophies is up for grabs this afternoon in Peterborough, the Memorial Cup. And we have in this game some fairly notable players who played for both the teams involved. The Granby Predators will play the Peterborough Petes to see who carries home the Memorial Cup. One of the most difficult trophies to win for any hockey player because you only get a 2 or 3 year span before you're out of junior hockey. I hope the rink's packed, and I hope it's a great game. And Greg Millen, who's helping us today, is a Peterborough grad, he tells me.
And what about my buddy here in the booth?
Toronto Maulers, we're not in it this year.
Well, of course. And you're a bit overage, I think. Lead pass, Kozlov. Good thing he got back. Fetisov will lumber back in his own zone and give it to Konstantinov, who backhands it out and down across the Avalanche line. That's Gusarov. Kamensky. Dangerous move against Fedorov, who stole it. He's up front. Can't get a shot. Konstantinov will. Rolling it in there, and it's blocked. Kamensky back up over center ice. Trying to go in. Trying to drop it back. Gets it back to Forsberg. It's left there at the side of the net, and Fetisov will take over for Detroit. Little loose play down in front of Patrick Waugh. Nearly broke the tie. It is 1-1. Coming up to the 9-minute mark of the second period. Fetisov shot it in from center. Onto the net. Waugh ripped it by McCarty. And they get it up as far as the Detroit line. Ramsey and Lidstrom. Put it up across center. McCarty is on it, onside. Coming in with Yzerman. Can't get the shot. Yzerman was open. Ozelich racing back, and a swift pass in by Denmark. Lidstrom for Detroit. Play opening up just a wee bit now here in the second. Osgood out to stop one. Nearing the halfway mark of the period. 1-1. Colorado tying it here. The goal that was knocked in by Coffey, credited to Yell. So an unassisted goal by Yell tied the game at 44 seconds of the period.
Here's how
Bergevin back to the net for Detroit, having some difficulty. A little more forechecking by Colorado now in the second period. The Red Wings have a tough time getting it going on the clearing rush. And again, they're called for icing with 10 minutes and 6 seconds left in the second period.
Sergei Fedorov showed the kind of arm and stick strength he has on the last chance he created. And it's right here as he fights off Kamensky and finally comes up with the puck and then can't quite get it to the backhand as he had a good scoring chance. It's a real tribute to the defensive capabilities of both these teams. 326 season goals for Colorado, 325 for the Red Wings. And here we are halfway through the game. The shots are 10-9, the chances are about 7-4, and the score's 1-1. The goalies and dedicated defensive play. That's what the playoffs are all about.
Bergevin again around the net quickly. The point. Scooping the puck away to center ice. Simon giving chase inside the Red Wing blue line. Red Wings are being caught now back there. And not too many are open. So Colorado having a good second period. Getting a gift goal, mind you. Coffey knocked it in. Colorado pressuring. Shot in by Simon from center ice. Avalanche changing up, and they're hitting more now. Back out to center Detroit. Hit into the zone by Coffey. Louis Krug turning in his own zone and gets away with a good move and rolled it ahead. Quick shot by Keane. Rebound. Keane again. And he can't get it high enough to beat Osgood. Keane coming close. Sakic around the net. Sakic gets out in front. Hauled down. Shot by Krug. Drilled wide. And another by Lecision. Not much on that one. Colorado with heavy pressure on the Red Wings here. Back again to Big Uwe Krug. His shot. He missed the open side. Lecision let her go. And in front. Osgood covering on the short side. But my, oh my, oh my. Joe Sakic with a great chance. And the Avalanche really coming after Detroit now.
Take the Neon Value Challenge and get no-charge air conditioning along with a $500 consumer rebate. And you'll receive dual airbags, side impact beams, a 2-liter 132-horsepower engine, automatic transmission, and a whole lot more. The Neon Value Challenge, now with no-charge air conditioning on top of all these great features for the unbelievably low price of only $14,995 at your Alberta Chrysler dealers.
Play. To play well is to leave a mark upon the field, upon the earth, upon others. And playing well leaves a mark on you. You're gonna get thirsty. That's why there's Gatorade. Because as long as you're making your mark, you don't want to be drinking something that misses it. Life is a sport. Drink it up.
Closed captioning of tonight's game is provided by Regal Capital Planners, nationwide independent financial planning services.
Sakic coming so close to giving his team the lead.
13 goals. He's only been held pointless in one game, and it was the last game. And he had a glorious chance at it. Looked like it might have hit Taylor's stick.
They're attacking again with a low shot that went by the far post. At the line, Lefebvre flipped one ahead. Lemieux working hard on the boards, but Fedorov takes it away from him. Can't get away from Lemieux, though. He's decked to the ice by Lemieux, and Lemieux ran into another player, and there's the shot right in close. Ramsey was hit by Lemieux after Fedorov was decked by Lemieux, and Lemieux was heading for the net.
Well, Forsberg had half a breakaway there, and he couldn't quite get out of the crowd and didn't get the kind of chance that he might have. And a great stop by Osgood as Fedorov sprints between the two Red Wing defensemen and lets it go, and then by the time the rebounds come, Ramsey throws Forsberg, into the net. Here's the hit right here by Lemieux on Fedorov. And Ramsey gets a penalty for depositing Forsberg into the net.
With the high stick. So Ramsey is off. Colorado coming on strong. And the game tied at 1. Right now, let's visit with Scott Russell.
Thanks very much, Bob. With former Red Wing Mickey Redmond, that shot happened right in front of us. Mickey, though, the key word in the series, so much skill.
Absolutely. When you guys got like Forsberg and Sakic coming in here with Fedorov and Yzerman and these guys and Lidstrom and Coffey, should be one of the best series of the playoffs.
Very quickly, all kinds of questions about Osgood, but he looks good.
He's finished his apprenticeship, Scott. He's #1 here now. As you can tell, the fans just love him.
Thanks a lot, Mac. Guys.
Power play, Colorado, and they pass it around in center ice for Ozelinch to get in over the line. Ozelinch, good play to Lemieux, shoots. Knocked down in front, Forsberg gaining some room and moving to the boards with it. Now he rolls it into Lemieux at the side of the net. He's caught. Forsberg is caught. Fedorov backhands it away all the way down the ice. 30 seconds gone, and the penalty to Ramsey of Detroit. 1-1 is the score with 7:35 left in the period. Kamensky coming up over the line, dropping it back, a bad play. Erie grabbed from behind, can he get in? No, he cannot. Nearly had a clear break. Back out for Forsberg, down the right side. Gets it over the line and put on the brakes for Sakic. It's called in behind the play. Little mix-up. With the crowd roaring, the 3 players going in on the attack didn't hear the whistle, but it did happen.
Taylor and Lemieux, well behind the play you just described, Bob, got involved with each other, and they're both going to get a penalty here. And you can see Koharski consulting the linesman. He may be giving another penalty. And there's Scotty Bowman with a very emphatic message to Paul Coffey. And here is the skirmish that we're talking about, Taylor and Lemieux. And Koharski watched a little bit of that and said that's enough.
Tim Taylor. Each 2-minute minor for roughing, called it 12 minutes, 42 seconds.
12 minutes and 42 seconds. Roughing penalties called on Taylor and Lemieux.
Well, Mike Ramsey remains in the penalty box. He's the only Detroit Red Wing player who's played a playoff game among the Red Wing players against Colorado and before Colorado, Quebec. Colorado has 7 who played playoff games against the Red Wings in their career.
1 minute and 2 seconds left in the penalty to Ramsey of Detroit. So it's still 5-on-4 in favor of the Avalanche. They get it back to Huey Krupp. He passes one off to Sakic. Back to Krupp, had to take it on his skate. Couldn't get a shot. And Detroit a chance to clear. And they'll do that. Hooking it out to center. Sakic wraps it back in. Came off the glass on a bad angle. Pulling Osgood. No harm done, though. It hit the back of the net. And the Red Wings get it down the ice with another 35 seconds left of the power play for Colorado. Deadmarsh for Sakic. Quick pass by Sakic to Ricci. He's in on the board. Trying to feed it back to the line. It gets back there and kept in by the Avalanche right to the doorstep. Knocked away from the open side. Erie gets it out and down the ice. Ball was out of the net to move it quickly, but they can't take advantage of it. Ramsey is now out of the penalty box. 6:15 remaining in the second period. Score tied at 1. Colorado tying it up here early in the period at 44 seconds. Primo lost a chance to move in and back out for Yell. He left it. And the shot fired wide by Clem. Yell and Clem move on it. Clem was knocked down. Yell took it in on the boards and held it. And no further play.
Two big hits by the Red Wings there. Mark Bergevin, the second one, but the bigger one was Primo on Keane right here. Coming up, here comes Primo, and there goes Keane. Detroit Red Wings have got to match the physical play of Colorado. And at times that's going to be a difficult chore. Here's a terrific chance to double tip in that got by Osgood, and just before it looked like Young may put it in the net, the Red Wing defenseman Bergevin knocks it from out in front of the net.
So with 5 minutes and 46 seconds left to play in the second period, and a game tied at 1. This second period, Colorado carrying the game to Detroit. Out shooting them 9-1. That's a stiff margin. But Primo made a big move to test Patrick Waugh with the quick wrist shot. And Waugh had the angle on that, no problem.
When Waugh's on his game, and it looks like he is, you get the impression you're not going to beat him with an angle shot at all that he can see. He gets out there, he's got more equipment than most sporting goods stores have on stock, and he stands up square as can be and reduces the amount of movement, and very few pucks go through him.
As we take a break here, again, here's Scott.
Thanks very much, Bob. Detroit native Craig Wolanin would love to be in the heat of battle for the Colorado Avalanche today. How about your team playing in front of Patrick Waugh? What's that done for a defenseman?
Well, Scott, needless to say, his record speaks for itself. When you got 2 Conn Smythe and 2 Stanley Cups, you're pretty confident playing in front of him.
How about the speed of this series? It looks like it's going to go pretty quick. Good skating clubs.
Well, with our team, we thrive on our speed. Needless to say, with the Russians, they're 5. They have a flowing type of style, and it's great for both clubs. It's going to be a good series to watch.
Wouldn't you love to be in there?
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, Craig. Good luck. Nice.
All right, Scott, and the face-off is coming up to the right of Patrick Waugh. Only 2 shots to handle so far in the period. 1-0 Detroit after 1 period. It's tied now here in the second. Coffey for the Red Wings, Yell for the Avalanche. 5:30 left in the second. Shot into the zone. Out of the net is Osgood. Tried to play it away from the danger zone. Ramsey, no place to go with it. He flipped it high and went over the boards into the crowd at the far side. Face-off will come, I'm sure, inside the line to the left of Chris Osgood.
Well, the Detroit Red Wings, when they lead after the first period, which they did in this game in the playoffs, are undefeated, 6 wins and a loss. But you're right, Bob. The Colorado Avalanche has been the superior team here in period number 2. And perhaps one of the reasons is they haven't had to kill off 4 penalties. They can get a line rotation going and play 5-on-5. And we know that Mark Crawford's got a lot of good cards in his deck.
Every coach hates to start a game that way, when you have to kill penalties. The rhythm is gone. There's no flow in the line changing, and they just have to suffer it out. Well, they did that. Coffey got the only goal on a power play in the first at 6 minutes. And Yell given credit for the goal that was poked home by Paul Coffey behind his own netminder, Chris Osgood. It was at 44 seconds. What a start for Colorado here in the second. And they've maintained the pace against the Red Wings. A point now is in for checking for Detroit. He and Lecision fight for it on the boards. And to give a hand is Greg Johnson. He's pinned by Stefan Yell. Red Wings do not hang on to it very long. It's fired off the boards by Lecision to center ice. Lidstrom back up. Gets over the line. He stays outside but drops it back to Fedorov. Fedorov getting a centering pass away. And now the penalty is being called. And again, it's against Colorado.
To make this beauty look its best, I use Armor All Protectant on the vinyl and rubber. And for the paint, now there's Armor Plate Paint Protectant. It shines, protects, and really makes those colors pop. New Armor Plate. It's like Armor All for your paint. Nobody knows protection like a quarterback. That's why I like Armor All Protectant. Test-proof Armor All blocks up to 4 times more of the sun's damaging UV rays than the #2 brand. So don't just shine your car, armor it with Armor All.
Our featured crowd noise has turned out to be a great success, and during our second intermission, those of you who have already called, you might hear your comments on the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. And if you wish to make a comment, here's the number you're going to call. And we thank you very much for participating. Some great comments. I've heard some of them on the off night. We're watching Hockey Night in Canada on CBC from the other series, and they've been terrific.
Detroit Red Wings have had 5 even-strength shots on goal in this game, and here we are, 4:31 to go in the second. A credit to the Colorado defensive posture.
4:31 left in the period. A 1-1 tie. The Red Wings on a power play. Coffey, Larionov, and Cicerelli pass it up and down the boards. Coffey shoots it. Picked out by Raw. Fired to the far side, and Coffey had vacated that point spot. So it came back up. Has to back up a bit. Coffey and Lidstrom are the 2 defensemen for Detroit. They get together to bring it up to center to Fedorov. He gets away from one. Cicerelli stops. Hannon trying to get it outside the line. He decides he'd stay put. The puck is beneath him. And he gets the face-off. 3:56 left in the period.
Don't play around with high prices. Come to Canadian Tire, your summer sports headquarters, and save on a huge selection of top-name sports equipment.
We heard Mark Crawford on the opening saying that his improved defense core from an offensive viewpoint is one of the reasons they're still alive in the playoffs. The Colorado defensemen have 37 points, and so do the wing defensemen. So it's something to worry about for both teams, the defensemen joining the rush.
Fedorov playing it back to the line of Lidstrom. Coffey, and that's called on the offside. The pass whipped in at the far side, but the winger on the near side was in. Cicerelli.
Well, Mike Keane killing a penalty here, loses his stick. So he says, I got my man until I get a stick. And there's Coffey, hands up, screaming at the referee Koharski for a penalty, but got no response.
Minute 10 left in the power play for the Red Wings, with a score tied at 1. Cicerelli, back of the net, Kozlov. He stopped, Larionov is there with him. Kozlov gets it out in front of Waugh, but it's taken away and cleared down the ice by Forsberg. 55 seconds left in the penalty. Coffey had to hurry back. He wants to move it up and does. Kozlov through center, broken up at the line by Huey Krupp. Red Wings have to go back and circle again. Lidstrom to Larionov. He's in on the boards. Held in on the boards by Mike Keane, who checked him well. 30 seconds left in the penalty to Colorado. Turning back up. Coffey again. The Wings were changing. They get in over the line. Brown trying to make a play, but it's fired down the ice quickly, right on the net. 15 seconds left on the power play. Red Wings up again. Fetisov gaining some speed and going in there. The pass in back of the net. Primo centered it. Shot blocked. Hardy was wide open taking that shot. Penalty is over now. They're at full strength. Colorado have killed it off, and they come on the attack. led by Sakic. He overskates it. Got it back again. Sakic is stopped by Bergevin. McCarty moving up for Detroit and dropping it to the line, and the Colorado Avalanche turn it back quickly. Deadmarsh coming down the wing. Deadmarsh, a big move to get it back to the net. Bergevin caught it. And the Red Wings, with 2 minutes left in the period, get it up to the line, but not out. Primo doesn't see it. Finally, he does. Helped by 20,000. It's in your skates. Shot knocked in. Wide of the net. Net blocked in front. Cleared down to Lefebvre. Minute 40 left. Avalanche trying to move in. Avalanche. Shot in by Lemieux. He'll be hit every opportunity now. LaPointe hit him that time. Crowd falling back to the net, and the play stopped. A glove pass stops this play with 1:27 left in the second period. We are tied at 1.
Bergevin may well have hurt himself on that hit you talked about, Bob. He delivered the shot. Sometimes the guy throwing the hit feels it more than the guy taking it. But perhaps Bergevin got hurt earlier in the shift. Joe Sakic, who's been fairly silent as far as scoring attempts is concerned, and that's probably where Bergevin got the sore foot. And then he comes roaring in right here. The puck's up on the net. Bergevin pays no attention to it and gives Kaminsky a good shot.
The face-off in the center ice area, just outside the Red Wings line. Erie coming back. Chopped out by Ciccarelli. Erie trying to race in there against Ozolinsh, but he stopped him. Ozolinsh lost it. Fedorov is coming in. Right in! Nice skate save off Ciccarelli. Long moving the left skate out, stopping that low shot by Ciccarelli. Under a minute to go in the period. Forsberg moving up. He gets up over the line. Forsberg with Ozolinsh, the defenseman, joining the rush. 45 seconds left. Shot in over the line by Gusarov. That's Taylor forechecking for the Red Wings. Avalanche again. Shot in from center. Ricci coming in after it, but Osgood was out quickly. Cleared around the net with 20 seconds. Back at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. A 1-1 tie after 2 periods. Coffey scored in the first on a Detroit power play from Yzerman and Fedorov at 6 minutes. Shots favor of the Red Wings 8-5. And early in the second period, you talk about needing a goal early. 44 seconds. Yell got credited with the goal unassisted. In fact, Paul Coffey lashed it into his own net behind Chris Osgood. So a 1-1 tie, but the second period, I think, Harry, belonged to Colorado.
Yes, they did. And I thought the first period, although with the help of some power plays, Detroit looked a little too good. Steve Yzerman didn't play very much in the last half of the second period. Evidently, he's got a slight groin pull. And Konstantinov also did not play much, and neither one of them came out right away for the third period. But here comes Konstantinov now, so he apparently is all right. And Yzerman is not on the bench yet. That would be obviously a tremendous loss for Detroit. We didn't see how he got hurt or when he got hurt, but he's not on the bench.
So Detroit facing Colorado in a 1-1 tie to start the third period without Yzerman. Here's where it might have happened. That's, I think, the last time we saw Steve Yzerman out there for Detroit. So we assume that's where he got the groin pull. Well, the teams are at full strength to start the third period. And the puck is cleared to center ice and a race forward. Lemieux might get there in time. And it's knocked away by Primo. What a great play by Primo. It seemed as if Lemieux was pulling away from him. But the big guy reached in and knocked it away in time. Fine defensive play by Primo. Keane dancing up over the line and dropping it for Forsberg. He tried to beat the two Detroit players, but he couldn't. Kozlov, shot. Ball was out there cutting that angle. Decent rush by Kozlov. The save by Roy.
Well, Primo comes up with a big-time defensive play here early in the third period, as it looked like Lemieux might get away and get in on Osgood all by himself. And here's a look at it. Lemieux's got a step on Primo right here, but Primo, it helps to have long arms and a long hockey stick. Without either of those, Lemieux may be with his hands up in the air. Scotty Bowman has not used the Russian five-some very often, and perhaps why is Fedosov's the only one of the five with a shot on goal after two periods.
Adam Foote clearing it back of his own net. He and Gusarov get together to move the puck out. Comes back for Gusarov. Again, Gusarov in his own zone with Foote. And a clearing pass to center. Avalanche can't bring it in over the line. Young is turning back with it. And he rolled it in there. Shot rolls down in front. They think it's in. The red light is on. It's a goal. And Detroit will argue that. It bounced high, came down in the crease. Nobody could see it from this side of the Joe Louis Arena, but the red light came on. And the referee was there to make the sign. Well, Sakic remains there talking to the referee.
Well, the goal judge put the light on, and as he did, Koharski gave the signal for a goal. Osgood made the initial stop on a hard Joe Sakic shot from the bad angle. And then it bounces up and comes down, and it looked to me like it possibly went off the skate of Adam Deadmarsh. And Koharski's going to check. I say that if that's the case, that goal won't start, won't count, because he did turn his skate. And the rule is if you turn your skate and the puck hits it and goes in, it's no goal.
Well, they'll go to review, of course, on something like that. Wally Harris is the supervisor, and Jerry Papeman, the video goal judge. Jerry Papeman, a former linesman in the National Hockey League.
If you turn your skate on the way to the net, even if you're just stopping, and the puck hits it, and I thought it did hit the skate of 18, which is Deadmarsh of the Colorado team, the goal won't count. Now, did it hit Deadmarsh's skate? That's the question. Here's a look from behind Osgood. Well, you can't tell by that much. If it hit Bob Erie's skate, it counts.
I saw Erie very close to the puck, and as you look at it again, he's number 21 in white. There is Bob Erie. Watch his skate.
Boy, I don't know. I think it was Deadmarsh's skate, but he didn't know where the puck was, that's for sure. He did not direct it in. That's a very tough call. They may have another shot that we haven't found yet.
Right now, the score is tied at 1, depending on this meeting upstairs. As you can see, they are reviewing the possible scoring play, the goal. Is it a goal or not?
Let's have a look from this angle. Often this is the one that tells the story. Here comes the puck up in the air and comes down right in the crease, so everybody's allowed to go into the crease. I still think it hit the skate of 18 Deadmarsh, but I'm not so sure he can be accused of directing it in. And here's, they're looking at the same thing. There's Jerry Pateman, and behind him Wally Harris. And we're looking at the same screen they're looking at.
They are agreeing or agreeing to disagree. It's taking some time, but they want to be very careful. It's a 1-1 tie at this stage at 1:34 of the third period.
No goal. I think I saw the lips of Wally Harris. We'll see. Yes, it is a goal.
We'll wait for the official, and he'll tell from the crowd reaction. There's the crowd reaction at the Joe Louis Arena after that deliberation. They'll go to center ice, and Colorado will take a 2-1 lead here in the third period.
Now remember, the video goal judge has to find out for sure that it was kicked in illegally. And this is the angle, evidently, that convinced them that Deadmarsh 18. The puck did hit him. They've given him the goal. It hits Osgood, then it hits Erie, and then you can see it goes off the right skate of Deadmarsh, off the goal club of Osgood and in.
Deadmarsh gets the goal from Sakic at 1:34 to give Colorado the lead 2-1. So Coffey in the first. Henson's shot way wide of the mark. He's offside anyway. Coffey in the first, Yell in the second, and now Deadmarsh here in the third.
And we still have not been able to find Steve Yzerman on the Red Wing bench. He certainly hasn't been on the ice, so he must be in the dressing room undergoing treatment or too injured to come back, because you know he'd be there if at all possible. And what a devastating blow that would be to the Red Wings. Chris Draper, the spunky little forward that played so well against St. Louis, is out. Well, you're taking two key people, and Steve Yzerman was the best player in either team in the St. Louis series.
Huey Krupp starting to play for Colorado. LeFave shoots one as he crosses center ice. Keane went up after it, fell to the ice and behind the Detroit net. Puck flying high over the glass back there, in behind to Chris Osgood.
Johnson's the player who is replacing Chris Draper. He did not play in the 7th game against the St. Louis Blues. He's got good speed. He's played lots of hockey this year for Detroit. So one thing about Scotty Bowman, he's used about 24 guys one time or another, and so it's of no great consequence to ask a guy who didn't play yesterday to go into today, but you don't replace Yzerman.
The scoring play at 1:34 of this third period. Deadmarsh is third of the playoffs from Sakic and Adam Foote. 2-1 is the score. Colorado leading Detroit. Red Wings back. Aronoff shot it up on the boards. Back to the net a second time. Coffey tried to thread it through everybody up along center ice. Missed Kozlov. Gonna try it again. Going along his own line. Shot in by Bergevin, and he was knocked down by Simon. Bergevin slow getting up. Stays on though. Coffey keeping it in. Kozlov coming in with a high shot. Roy ducking. It ricochets all the way back to center ice. Chucked in there by Larionov. Coffey falling. Swept it away and across the line. The Red Wings are making changes. Nearing the 4-minute mark of the third period. Fired in deep by Clem. Red Wings try to get going on the checking Avalanche and can't get by Lemieux at center. Ramsey tries it. Lost it at the side of the net. Recovered in time before any damage. Tim Taylor around his own goal. He lost it. Lemieux cruising in there again, but missed it the second time. Point tried to go in. He was stopped and shut down the ice. Osgood leaving the net, but cleared away. Avalanche bring it back in. Forsberg driving the shot. Ozelinch is up deep again. Ramsey for Detroit. 4 minutes gone in the third. Johnson. The long shot off the pad of Wall. No problem with that long shot from near the blue line. Knapking trying to get going. Young sweeps back to his own zone, and here's Huey Krupp. Look out. Bouncing off him was Bob Erie. Krupp 6'6" and 235. No wonder Fetisov near center ice. Takes a rough going, and I believe Koharski is going to stop the play on a penalty. We'll be back.
In the wind and the rain, I found myself. Oh, I was never really lost. It took me this long to realize I was looking the wrong way. Unfortunately, our eyes look out at the world, not in at ourselves. So even though at this time I find myself on this road, there are at least as many roads as there are people. And through the wind and the rain...
Detroit gets an elbowing penalty here in the third period.
Here's the penalty right here. Erie 21 comes in late and plants the elbow right in the kisser of Adam Deadmarsh. McCarty throws a low blow shot at Lusician, and over he goes. Lusician had just passed the puck. Here's another look. There's the pass. There's the hit.
So once again, things looking rather rosy for Colorado. They were trailing Detroit 1-0 till the 44-second mark of the second period. Yell got credit for the goal. Deadmarsh has scored at 1:34 here in the third. They're leading 2-1, and now on a power play. And out they come. Sakic, swift pass in on the wing. Deadmarsh trying to get it back out front. It's going to be cleared by Detroit. Louis Krug all the way back to his own zone. Bell. Now Ozelinch moved up. Got it across the line to Deadmarsh. Deadmarsh trying to center it. Red Wings will shoot it down the ice. Oh, watching Ozelinch come back. Decides to leave it at the side of the net for the rushing defenseman. Sandis Ozelinch to center. Stopped in his tracks near center ice. A 2-on-1. Lariano coming in with Primo. And the pass in for the Coffee score. Coffee ties the game for Detroit.
Shoot the puck, and he kept trying to make a play when it wasn't there. And the 2-on-1, Larionov. And then he drops it after faking the shot to the third man on the rush, Coffey, who stuck it in under the glove of Patrick Waugh. And Coffey gets his second for the Red Wings. It's a 2-on-1, and it quickly turns into a 3-on-1. Coffey finishes it off, and the Red Wings needed Larionov, Primo, and Coffey contributing offensively this series, and they are showing signs of doing that.
Short-handed goal by Coffey. Larionov and Primo assisting. 5:33 the time. So a giveaway at center. And now a goal for Detroit to tie it. Ozelinch is in there trying to get it back for his team. But it'll be intercepted by Fedorov, and he's away. Coming in on Ozelinch. Fedorov made a big move in front. The puck going back out for Forsberg. Gets it over the line. The setup a little bit too far for Kamenski. And again, the Red Wings playing well inside their own line. Trying to kill this penalty. Erie has 20 seconds left in it. 2-2 tie here in the third. Coffey exploding the crowd. Crowd wanted a penalty called. Colorado Avalanche move up. Again, it's Ozelinch. He's sent flying to his knees. Avalanche on it, centering it. Down is Osgood. He keeps it out. And the Red Wings do not like the way Colorado move in rather closely with the goaltender smothering the puck.
And guess who? Number 22, Claude Lemieux. He's got more enemies in this league than any other player. And he tried to dig the puck from underneath the pad of Osgood. And the Red Wings say after the whistle. Now he's having a heated argument with Fetisov. I don't know whether Koharski made any penalty calls on this or not. Let's have a look at it here. Stefan Yell throws the puck out in front of the net, and it's smothered by Osgood. 1, 2, he's digging for it. There, it's half loose, in all fairness to Lemieux. And you know one thing, if you stand in there and start digging for gold, Something's going to hit you over the head with a shovel.
Coffey has tied the game. He scored in the first. Now he's scored here in the third.
Well, Keith Primo has really come to the front, and in the second period and now in the third with Yzerman missing, Primo has had more ice time and has had played better, and he's fired about 6 or 7 devastating body checks. Stefan Yell, give him credit. He had to chip the puck past Primo. He knew he was going to get hit, and like so many players at this time of the year, they'll sacrifice themselves to move the puck to a teammate.
So the teams are back at full strength. The Detroit crowd is back in it. As the Red Wings are back in it. Krupp, the pass along the line. Lefebvre had to swing around and move it up to the left boards. Bergevin will take it back of his own net and get it ahead. Tim Taylor got it outside the line. Now they move up on it. It's Johnson with LaPointe in there with him. LaPointe bumping with Keane. Puck was lifted to center ice and Coffey was waiting for that. Drilled the shot. Oh, the save with the glove. Put it back on the ice quickly. Primo can't get a shot this time. Kozlov behind the net against Lefebvre. Gets it out to the line. Konstantinov with him. And the Avalanche pick it up and Lefebvre late clearing it. Then he had to hurry it. That'll be an icing call with Fetisov coming back for it. Nearing the 8-minute mark of the third, and we're tied at 2.
An ordinary hamburger and your Banquet Burger Deluxe. Either is good depending on what you want, which brings us to Midas Mufflers. At Midas, they have top quality Midas mufflers guaranteed for as long as you own your car. Or they have the Economizer at a very reasonable price and guaranteed for 1 full year. The point is, you get some choice in the menu, which is important. I like choice. I have one to make right now. I've made it. It's the way it should be. Midas.
2 of the Eastern Conference Final tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern Time. Florida leading the series 1-0.
Martin LaPointe's been a bundle of energy tonight for the Red Wings, and he doesn't mind walking into you either, as Mike Keane can attest. The Red Wings are doing a good job, I think, of making sure that the Colorado Avalanche don't think they've got any physical advantage, because among the forwards, they have a bigger team.
Colorado 2, Detroit 2. Coffey with both Red Wing goals in the first on a power play. And scoring here in the third to tie it. Short-handed. Colorado now backing up in their own zone. The Red Wings hop on the puck in there. Larionov trying to make the play. Couldn't get it out front. It was stopped by Roy. He still fight for it. Ciccarelli falls. Gets back up. He and Hannon are going at it. Roy clearing it away. And Young shoots it up the center ice. Sakic is stopped by the 3 Red Wings who are back waiting for him. Kept in at the line. Dedmark trying to get loose. Hooked away from him. Barbieri, a fine defensive play. 2 teams changing now. Larry starting back on the left side and got it through center. Up as far as the Colorado line. Stopped there. And Lemieux tried a long pass that didn't work. Now Forsberg trying to bring it in. He's stopped by Lidstrom. Red Wings move it out. Erie is open. Stopped by Raw. Here's speeding in from the left wing. Fedorov fighting for it on the boards. He lost it. Ozelich starting the rush for the Avalanche. Forsberg dropping it back to Lemieux. He waits. To the line, a good play. Krupp moving in and lost control. Back out for Tim Taylor. He's alone on the rush. Detroit for changing. He's coming in. Falling. Hooked it in on the side of the net, then fell on the puck. And the play is called, and the crowd gives him an applause. Colorado in his own zone. Gave it to his defense partner who got it out. Deadmarsh was cruising up near the Detroit line. The puck came in behind him. He has to get back on side as Johnson goes in for Detroit with LaPointe. And Johnson at the line. Bergevin driving one. Oh, stop that. Then another. Kept in by Coffey. And then thrown back to center ice. We're nearing the halfway mark of the third period. We are in at 2-2 tie. Even chances out there now, but Detroit coming to life again.
Well, Bob Berry has had the best chance for the Red Wings in the last 5 minutes as he poured in off the left wing, took a nice little pass right here. You can see the Colorado back checker drifting into the middle and not looking over his shoulder. And who do you think was there? Bob Berry. He tried to go between the legs of Patrick Waugh, and Waugh would not pick a stick up. A beautiful pass by McCarty. A nice try by Erie and some good goaltending by Patrick Waugh.
Detroit out shooting Colorado 8-4 at this point. We are 2 seconds shy of the halfway mark of the third period. 2-2 the score. From the face-off to the left of Osgood. 3 Red Wings are on it quickly. Ciccarelli off the blocker of Waugh with that long shot. Primo bumping at the side of the net with Adam Foote. Red Wings come out with a puck. Ciccarelli put it through the crease. Ciccarelli coming in there. He set up, but he was checked, had a stick lifted in time. Red Wings forechecking with some authority. That's Primo knocking it away. Konstantinov leaving it at the line for Brown. Oh, stop that. Colorado running around a little bit now inside their own line. Another centering pass stopped by Young. And it's shot back off his skate to the Detroit zone. Two teams changed on the ice. And it's trying to go in. From the line, Gusarov. And down is Osgood. He'll hold on. 9 minutes left of the third. Still tied.
Well, tremendous pressure on the goaltenders. As usual in Stanley Cup games, you get to the point where you think the next goal's going to win it. And Osgood and Patrick Waugh have both been excellent this evening, or this afternoon. And one of the assignments for young Osgood is to not be outplayed for the two-time Conn Smythe winner at the other end, Patrick Waugh. And could you ask a player to do anything more difficult than to play better than the other goaltender when the other goaltender is Patrick Waugh and you're 23 years old?
Cannon on the face-off. Detroit controlling it. Hooked it away from him. Stopped at the line just outside. Clem brought it back in. That's called, and a face-off coming up at the line.
When it comes to shop.
We're back at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. We can stand a lot of this, and we hope you can too. You're invited to join us for Game 2, Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern. Colorado and Detroit. Shot there at Steve Yzerman, the captain of the Red Wings. He has not returned for this third period. A slight groin pull, we are told. He missed a fair part of the second period. The Red Wings have a goal scored by this man, Coffey, who fires one out of the zone. And they've tied the game here in the third period. Coffey is coming back in his own zone. Pass to Primo. Up to Lariano. He left it in open ice. And the Avalanche were on it. Keane backed it on the boards behind Waugh. Adam Foote, tough time controlling it. Kozlov was in to hurry him. And it's knifed out to center. Lariano with Coffey. Coffey up on the pass. Way ahead of him, but he got there with his great speed. Chopped it in. Lemieux finding some room. Spun around and keeps going. Ramsey got a piece of him. Now look, Forsberg was in to make a run at Fedorov. He turned back from Lemieux then and made the play. Cross ice up through center. hit at center ice by Avalanche on McCarty. Avalanche, he's lined up. But on the break, speeding, airing, and shooting it in. That's an icing call against Colorado.
Well, McCarty had to look down to recover a bit of a loose puck as he was dancing through the neutral zone. Avalanche moved up, and here's what I'm saying right here. He loses the puck at his feet just for a second. And when he looks up, big number 8 is there and sends him careening over his hip with a good body check. Those are the kind that don't hurt so much. The ones where you get thumped and sometimes you don't even go down are the ones that sting. Although McCarty did have a fair amount of airtime on that. There's the Pizza King. Mr. Illich, the owner of the Red Wings, the Tigers, pizza stores all over North America.
I talked to him after the 7th game against St. Louis the other night. I talked to him. He could hardly speak. He was totally wiped. Well, I guess most of the 20,000 here in the building were. Getting Detroit the win over St. Louis. Getting a shot here with Colorado to move on to the Stanley Cup final. So this is big stuff time. Winner of the series on for all the marbles of the championship. 7:15 left in the third period. In this, game 1. Score tied at 2. Detroit, the aggressor, here in the third period. They got the goal at 5:33. Coffee scoring. And that was shorthanded. Long shot in by Fetisov. Immediately he goes to the bench. They change him up quickly. Fedorov getting one out in front of Waugh. Comes to Bergevin. Bergevin with Coffee open at the blue line decided to go in deep with it. Red Wings on it. Bergevin again keeping it in. Once more back to McCarty. Around the net, tried the wraparound, but Colorado covering up. Kucherov gets it out of the zone. Coffee will cruise back. Pass going astray. Missing Fedorov. And that's an icing call against the Red Wings. 6:16 left in the third.
We want to make it perfectly clear. You'll find guaranteed low prices at your Canadian Tire store every day. If you find a better price anywhere, we'll match it. Guaranteed.
Mike Vernon seems to be enjoying his job. He's no longer occupying the seat at the one end of the Red Wing bench. He's back there with the coaches. He's one of Osgood's greatest admirers, roommate, and very supportive. And Bissett, who's in charge of repairing helmets, now stick, is a quality backup goalie for the Avalanche.
Shot from the blue line is wide. Colorado trying to get it going here. Forsberg around the net. Can't find room. Detroit covering up. It's lifted away to center. Up there was Doug Brown, but the puck didn't reach him. Under 6 minutes left in the third period. Colorado, Forsberg moving up. He is poke-checked at the line. They have to get back on side. Lemieux shoots it in for Kamensky. He's knocked around and lost it. Red Wings get it out. Brown moving up, but it's cleared across center. Kamensky without the stick. Would have been offside had he played it. Lidstrom is going in. His pass gets by everybody, and Avalanche band on it, trying to shoot it out. Hannon brings it up for Colorado and gets to center. Skating well. Zakic was with him, but he had turned in behind him. Hannon trying to pick it up. Cleared back in. Konstantinov in his own zone. Clem in forechecking. At the line. Here's a chance. Lefebvre. And he almost missed it. Barely moved the puck. Out for Tim Taylor. Up over the line with Johnson. Johnson given a bump back of the goal by Huey Krupp. Troy forechecking hard again. No centering pass. It hit Krupp. Stayed behind that goal line and cleared high down the ice. An icing call coming up against Colorado with 4 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the third period. We're tied.
Goaltending duo for Colorado, Patrick Waugh, although played a lot of games in Montreal before he joined the Avalanche. Stefan Facette had a pretty impressive looking average when Patrick arrived on the scene. And the Colorado Avalanche, if they decide to move this guy, I think a lot of teams would be interested in him. He's a quality goalie, he's the right age, and the two of them can't play enough on the same team.
Primo will come in on this face-off for Detroit. He's logging a lot of ice time now with Yzerman out. Slight groin pull is the word on Steve Yzerman. He hasn't come out to start this third period. We won't see him the rest of this game. But we emphasize the word we got, slight groin pull. Detroit fans hope he'll be all right. 4:05 left in the third period in a 2-2 tie. Coffey moving the puck well. Lariona takes it through center. Dumped it in on the wing for Ciccarelli. He's given a ride in on the boards and falls. Avalanche come back out. Keane got up as far as the Detroit line of a stop by Ramsey. Erie skating well. Forced to play it back though, and Ramsey put one in high. And a bounce down to the right of Patrick Waugh. Fedorov in there after it, but Ozolinsh was in front of him. And the Avalanche come up with it and skate to center. Lemieux takes the pass, tried to go in. They caught him. Forsberg is with him, chasing Fedorov, who pulls away and then lost it to him. He dropped it back, trying to hit Kaminsky. Red Wings get up and fire center. Both teams going hard now. Forsberg again, finding a hole. He nearly got in, put off stride, stays with it. Ramsey lost the stick. Forsberg kicked it loose and is hauled down. Fedorov backhands it away to center ice. Red Wings are changing. 2:50 left in regulation time and a 2-2 tie. Red Wings send 3 players away. Lapointe whipped the pass up quickly to Fetisov. He's across the line and shoots. Wall to save. Lapointe and Johnson on it. Deadmarsh pulls Johnson, shakes him loose. And here's the check for Konstantinov. His shot is blocked by Waugh. 2:25 left in the third period. Avalanche relieving the pressure, shooting it away on an icing call against Colorado. We're down to 2:19 left in the third now. The score is tied at 2.
Well, we're in overtime by the looks of it. To me, Colorado's played 5 overtime games in these playoffs. They're 3-2. The Red Wings have played 2. They're 1-1.
There he goes again.
And the biggest Caesar for Little Caesars can't watch the game at this point.
It's only 2 in a row. No big deal.
The last one went 2 overtime periods.
11-5 the shots in this third period in favor of Detroit. 2:19 left in the third. Red Wings watching Colorado hand it to them in the second when they got the tying goal at that time by Yell, as Coffey had given the Red Wings a 1-0 lead in the first. Deadmarsh made it 2-1 Colorado. Then Coffey with his second of the game. Tied it 2-2. Puck over the glass into the crowd.
The Detroit Red Wings are out shooting the Avalanche 11-5 here in the third period and have had 4 or 5 excellent chances to score and have scored once. Paul Coffey, the offensive star for the Wings, and may get considered to be one of the offensive stars for the Avalanche with that goal he scored.
That's the one Harry refers to, which was credited to Yell. 44 seconds into the second period. Osgood out. Shot it on the boards to Kozlov, hoping he would be able to move it. He couldn't. Ricci around the net. Ricci wards off a check. Stays with it, centered it. Backhander is blocked by Osgood. And the puck ends up frozen in the crease area. Colorado coming close. Only 1:46 left now in the third.
Well, Mike Ricci, who's got deceiving strength, fought off the Red Wing defenseman behind the net, and then as he was knocked down, he scooped it out in front. And it was dangerous for a second or two, but Osgood covered it. Here it is right here. Ricci, a former Peterborough Pete, former Philadelphia Flyer, has a fight right here with Bergevin, and you can see as he's lying down, he gets it in the net, but it goes in the wrong end.
So Ricci back to the bench. Sakic comes out. Bedmars to his left. Young to his right. Lefebvre and Huey Kruper back of the line. Detroit winning the faceoff. Konstantinov. He wants to go with it. Gets out with the pass to center, and it's backhanded in wide of the net. 1:35 left to play in regulation time, and a giveaway in there by Krupp. Centering pass, one in behind McCarty. Aries shoots it back at the goal. McCarty on the boards. Band on it. Colorado come out. Krupp's pass nearly picked off at center ice. Fedorov up to Erie. He tapped it in. And again through center. Lefebvre in wide of the net. We have 1 minute left in regulation time in this first game of the Western Conference Final. Onside, the pass up to LaPointe. Now bring it back.
LaPointe tried to stay onside. That was one of those aerial passes. Nearly got up as high as the clock. And of course now we're down to one mistake and it's over. Mark Crawford's team's been through a lot of these overtime games. As I mentioned, 5 out of the 12 they've played have been in overtime. And Detroit, they got by the Winnipeg series without any, but had 2, including the long one against St. Louis.
Red Wings in 2 overtime games for the Blues. Losing on the road at the Kiel Center. And of course, winning the big one, Game 7, here in Detroit. 1-0. That'll go down as one of the classics. 42 seconds left. And here's a chance for Colorado. Gusarov faked the shot and then decided not to do anything with it. Primo is coming in for Detroit. Back of the goal. The pass. Raw down. Knocked away. Unbelievable. Primo and Larionov stay with it. Crowd buzzing. 17 seconds left. Regulation time. Detroit trying to win it here. What a chance they saw go down the tubes a moment ago. Here's the man who might have won it. Gusarov. He shoots it away down the ice. And we have overtime coming up in Game 1 of the Western Conference Final. A 2-2 tie.
Well, Larionov, who's had 4 goals in the 96 playoffs, won't get a chance to do anything more than he got right here to end the hockey game. Primo, who's played exceptional. Look at Larionov. Fake one way, fake another way. Patrick Waugh won't give him an opening. And then he stuck the goal stick out, and Gusarov comes in to put Larionov on his rear end behind the net. A nice play by Primo here to fight off Adam Foote. And then look at the time Larionov's got it. Forsberg made a mistake going to help Adam Foote instead of standing in front of the net where Larionov was standing.
Shots were 12-6 for Detroit in that third period, 25-20 overall. It's a 2-2 tie. Overtime coming up, and we'll go now to Scott and Greg.
All right, Bob. Well, wow, Patrick Waugh made the difference there. Igor Larionov could have posted a stamp and a letter, gone to England with that one, but Waugh just stuck the stick out.
Well, it comes to mind the way the new goalies play. They lay down when the things are in tight against them, and it's very difficult for forwards to get the puck up, and that's exactly what happened to Larionov on that play. He couldn't get it up, and he couldn't get over to his forehand to chip it over Patrick Waugh.
Interesting comment by Harry Neal in the St. Louis series. He said Paul Coffey is starting to skate, and he's starting to become a big factor in this series already.
Well, that's right. Well, Harry called it. it, and certainly he's a big factor. And great players make up for bad mistakes, and that's exactly what Coffey did in this third period after that the goal that he put in his own net earlier in the hockey game.
What about the disputed goal, the one by Adam Deadmarsh that gave Colorado a 2-1 lead? I know goals going in off skates, a huge problem for the National Hockey League.
Well, that's right. The GMs about 2 months ago had a meeting about goals going off skates, and they were split right down the middle. Half the GMs thought it had to be kicked in, the other half thought that it just had to hit a skate. So certainly it's a real confusing point right now in the National Hockey League, and it was funny. The players that had played the game that are now GMs all thought that it had to be redirected intentionally by the skate, and I agree with them on that, but I think we'll see more of that this summer after the season's over. I think it should be intentional. I don't think it should be something that just hits a skate like it did on this last play.
I know we're going to try and get a look at that goal, and here it is now. Can a player really intentionally direct the puck into the net when he's in this kind of a crowd as Adam Deadmarsh was?
Well, I don't think so, and I think this is a good call on the goal because Deadmarsh was right in the crease area. He was driving the net, and we can't even really tell if it hit his leg or not, but there was certainly no intent at all by Deadmarsh to kick the puck in or redirect the puck in, that's for sure.
And that is the angle that was used by the video replay judges, Wally Harris upstairs, to make the call on that goal. How about overtime? The Detroit Red Wings have to be tired. They haven't had much rest, and they had that big emotional win over St. Louis just on Thursday.
Well, I guess Scotty Bowman right now is saying just that to his hockey team. He's saying, look it. We've been here before. In fact, we were here just a few days ago, and we were successful. It was a great high. Let's do it again. On the other hand, the Avalanche, they've been in overtime, 5 times so far this playoff season? They're used to it. And Patrick Waugh, we all know how great he is in overtime as well.
Bit of redemption, as you said, for Paul Coffey. Let's have a look at that goal in the third period of play. And what a great player 77 is.
Well, that's right. And what a great player Larionov is as well. And he's on his offside. And that's how he's able to find Paul Coffey coming late on a missed assignment by the Avalanche. But, hey, when Paul Coffey is streaming through the middle, full tilt, he's very difficult to catch.
One last thing, and we know Paul Coffey is back, but Steve Yzerman is not. We've heard that it's a pulled groin. What more do you know?
Well, we're also hearing that right now he's in the hyperbaric chamber right now, and it's not confirmed, but I'd give it about 90%, so I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he's in there getting some rehab.
All right, thanks very much, Greg. We're going to overtime again, the first game of the Western Final. It's 2-2, the Colorado Avalanche and the Detroit Red Wings here at Joe Louis Arena after 3 full periods of play. Molson Hockey Night.
Short-handed, it was a beauty at 5:33.
Let's have a look at both goals scored in the third period. Sakic nearly scored on this bad angle shot, and then we had the one that had to go up to the video goal judge to decide whether it was kicked in or not. 18 Deadmarsh gets credit for the goal, and if you can tell me who skate that one off. And then Paul Coffey got a beauty, a shorthanded situation. It was a 2-on-1, turned into a 2-on-2, and then Coffey jumped past the last Colorado back checker to make it a 3-on-2 and fired it into the net past the helpless Patrick Waugh.
First period, Coffey and the Red Wings were hot. They were rewarded with a 1-0 lead. And then Scotty Bowman saw Colorado come at his team in the second, but he turned it around in the third. The two coaches now ready for overtime. 25-20 of the total shots after 3 periods in favor of Detroit.
Well, I have Detroit with 14 scoring chances, 5 in the third period. Colorado with 12, only 2 in the third period. The Red Wings, what a job they've done on the 2 top Colorado scorers. Kamensky and Sakic, neither have had a shot on goal.
Patrick Waugh in overtime in this playoff year was won 3 and lost 2, and overall
27-7, 10 in a row one spring not too long ago when Montreal won the cup. That record, Bob, is one that's safe, isn't it? 10 overtime wins in a row.
Even that many overtimes.
Yes, that's right.
Let alone winning them. Incredible record. Well, Detroit, their second game in a row in overtime. Took overtime through 1 full period and into the next to eliminate the St. Louis Blues in the 7th game. On Thursday, Waugh covering on this one.
Well, Patrick Waugh has proven without a doubt that moving from Montreal to Denver has not affected his playoff performance. And Pierre Lacroix looks like he knows what he's doing as a young general manager in this league, acquiring Mr. Waugh from Montreal after the famous incident against the Red Wings.
Face off to the left of Roy. Fedorov. Kearney to his right. Big Primo, who's had a great game for Detroit. Getting in front of the net. He can't knock it down. Krug goes in to watch him. McCarty back on the goal. Gets the pass out front. Fedorov nearly knocked one in that time. Fedorov gets it to the line. Ramsey played it in. Scramble in front. Primo down. On one knee, he took that shot. Waugh made the save. Red Wings are changing. Mariano lost it at center ice. Big Krug stride. That's up high over the glove of Osgood. Red Wings go back to pick it up, and Nicholas Lidstrom has to hurry. Lifting a high one over the glass. Into the crowd.
Well, you're right. Keith Primo, since the absence of Steve Yzerman in the second period, has really played the best hockey he's played in the 96 playoffs. He's been very physical. He's had the puck in his possession a lot more. And in the offensive zone, he becomes a real difficult guy to take out. And that's a sign of a good team, when you can lose a captain and still be in a game here in overtime. Give credit to Primo, who's picked up the slack at center ice.
Face off. Quickly Sakic kicks it back. Gusarov hangs on to it. Shot low, blocked and cleared. Foot keeps it in. The 10 into the first overtime. Konstantinov out to Ciccarelli. The left wing pass doesn't work for Erie. Back for Colorado. Sakic is going for the net. Trying to knock it down. It was a high one. It went in wide. It's centered again. From the scramble, it comes to Gusarov. He tapped it up along the boards. Larionov backhands it hard on the boards, but it doesn't get out. Pressure now by Colorado. A shot tipped away by Osgood. Cleared into center ice. Gusarov in his own zone. Play comes out to foot. Shot it up there. Here comes Ricci. Knocked down. Osgood sliding into the net along with Ricci. The play goes right on. And the Red Wings pick it up and skate out of there. Up to center. It's shot in deep by Tim Taylor. Back in front, and we're going to go the other way now. Lead pass up to center. Ricci put the pass behind his man. Negating that rush for Colorado. Waugh stepping out of the net to stop it. Nearing the 3-minute mark of the first overtime. Cleared to center ice. Neutral area for Ricci. He shot a long one up for Stefan Yell. Back in Detroit. Coffey again. Knocked it down. Tried to make the play. It was up too high for Taylor. Shot in wide of the net. The Red Wings want to make changes, and here's Ricci. His pass going astray to the Detroit blue line. Ramsey finding Primo on the move up there. Primo picks it up in the corner. Primo center. Fedorov shot is blocked in front of Roy. Streaking away to center ice is Kamensky, and he ran into a stone wall. Inside the line with Ramsey seeing him come in. And the play is called on the offside. Quickly, let's visit with Scott.
Yes, sir, Bob. Well, the sign on the hyperbaric chamber says treatment in progress, and we know that Steve Yzerman, the captain of the Red Wings, is in there. He's been missing since the second period. We think he's got a strained groin. What happens in this chamber is it's an intensive blast of oxygen, and it will help to reduce the swelling in his groin area. Now, he spent a lot of time in here during the last playoffs, and I can tell you right now that Steve's in the chamber, and he's watching the hockey game as we speak. Not sure yet when he's coming out. Bob?
Get well, Steve. Everybody needs you. Exciting hockey player.
I remember the old days, an ice pack, some black tape and an aspirin. Now chambers that you can watch TV in. I hope it works.
Larionov. Primo stays on. Scotty Bowman playing Primo a lot. Larionov to take the face-off for Detroit. Sakic for Colorado. Sakic won it. It's slapped into the zone by Clem. Sakic forechecking. Konstantinov back in his own net. Primo waiting for the pass. Sees the hit coming. Rolled it out across the line to center. Foot. Headbands the puck again. Clem was nailed. Konstantinov. A stiff hit. Red Wings move up on it. outside at the Colorado blue line. You can hear the blow up here. They've got to be 200 feet away.
It was a great body check, and Larionov fanned on a pass, and had he made it, it was Kozlov in alone. Here's the hit right here. Clem didn't even see him coming. A good, clean shoulder to the chest body check. And we've seen a lot of good hits in this game. And this series, Bob, looks like it's going to be all it's cracked up to be. So some glass loose in these end behind Osgood, and the efficient Joe Louis Arena rink crew comes out. And they are going to replace it with a new one by the look of it. There's a crack in it, as you can see right there.
So the two teams will welcome this little respite at 3 minutes and 22 seconds into the first overtime. There's the crack. Actually, several of them. That has to be replaced.
Well, we've had two good overtime hits. Kamensky takes one from Ramsey. You can't go across the rink with the puck somewhere in your feet and not get stroked in this game. And Ramsey showed up in a hurry, couldn't knock Kamensky down, but he stopped him pretty suddenly. Of course, Bob Rouse, who was hit with a shot in Game 6 in the face and broke his orbital bone, Ramsey has replaced him and has played well, and overtime goal scorers in today's game. Well, we got lots of candidates to end this, baby.
You're telling me. I don't see Primo there for Detroit in the way he's been playing in the third period. And by the looks of things again here, Cicerelli, of course, is always a dangerous at any time. Claude Lemieux, watch him.
Well, Lemieux's the kind of a guy that saves his best acts for the playoffs. He's been fairly well behaved tonight. There haven't been any death threats coming his way yet, but the series is young.
Well, that didn't take too long. It's just about ready. Scotty, I'm sure, is anxious to get this thing going. This is the first game of the best of 7. Western Conference Final. First time this far for this fine gentleman, Mark Crawford, coach of Colorado.
Well, I don't know how happy the players are about this glass change, but the fans that sit behind it have to be pretty happy when you see the chunks they're taking out of it. Full house again here at Joe Louis Arena. When the people get to their seats, they are presented with one of your favorite souvenir items. One of those, what do you call them? Pom-poms. We've had lots of overtimes in the 96 playoffs, and here are some information on them. 5 minutes or less, 7 games decided, 5 to 10 minutes for 2 or more periods, 6 games. And of course, Game 7, which was a classic hockey game here at Joe Louis Arena, took 2 overtimes to decide the winner. And the Avalanche knocked Chicago out in overtime, so we're just into it. The glass is fixed, and we're ready to roll again.
All right, we're set to go. The face-off is just outside the Colorado line. Ball knocking down a high shot from center ice. Kamensky did not clear it out for Colorado. Fedorov centering pass, intercepted and shot away. Ramsey circles in his own zone. Up through the middle for Primo. Just out of the reach of McCarty coming in. He stays with it and centers it. Colorado don't pick it up to clear it out. McCarty again, dumping one out in front of Patrick Law. And around the net. Out for Forsberg. He gets to center. Tied up. And Kamensky will try to wait till he gets out. He does. Shooting it in. Fedorov. Taking it in behind his own net. Getting it out to Cicerelli. At center. Little soft pass in for Erie. Cicerelli going for the net. Now goes back to help Erie, who fell. Cicerelli trying to get it loose. Yell is there for Colorado. And they stop the play.
Well, the faceoff's going to come outside because, in the opinion of Don Koharski, the puck was underneath Palmieri. And when that happens, the offending team in the offensive zone, as the Wings were, they bring the faceoff outside.
4 minutes and 22 seconds into the first overtime period at the Capacity House in Detroit, Joe Louis Arena. Chalker block full again today. Playoff action. Bergevin. You never know. That came from center ice. And Waugh had to be careful. Soviet icing. Bergevin back.
Most of the overtimes take on a similar complexion, and that is in the first 7 or 8 or 9 minutes when the ice is good and the players are fresh, you're quite apt to see it decided. After it gets by the 8 or 9 minute mark, it becomes a safety hockey game, and the chances to score disappear and the safe plays reappear.
Bergevin electing to take the shot just from center ice. Well, we're told that Steve Yzerman has left the chamber and has gone to the Detroit dressing room. So that's a good sign. Had his treatment for now. Game 1 this Sunday afternoon. Game 2 on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're looking for the winner of this first game. Wow. Cooley played it off for Foote. Got it as far as center ice, and the Red Wings dump it back in. Konstantinov, Cicerelli had to clear the zone. Adam Foote moving up again, lifting a high one up across center. Offside. Carried in by Stefan Yell, but Ricci couldn't get back out.
Well, Mike Ricci tried his best to get back onside as Stefan Yell was coming into the zone as Ricci was trying to get out of it. You're going to see right here, Ricci's now got to get out of the zone, and he almost makes it. You only have to get 1 foot on the line.
.5:13 into overtime. Detroit with the first goal. Coffey, and Coffey tied it. The third. Shot from the blue line. Lemieux uncorking that one. No problem for Osgood. Avalanche can't keep it in. All the way down the ice. Gusarov taking his time coming back. Sees the Detroit player coming up quickly behind him. Tim Taylor, so then he stepped it up a bit. That's another racing call.
And we're going to see a lot more of those here as this overtime slides along. If you recall on Game 7 against St. Louis, there were many more icings in the overtime probably than there were in the first 3 periods. Because as I mentioned earlier, you're going to make the safe play. And the safe play sometimes just get it out of the zone. Even though it's an icing, you get a chance to get ready for the faceoff.
And they line up for it again to the left of Chris Osgood. Detroit controlling this faceoff. Lidstrom starts the Red Wings out. Up to center. McCarty is on the left. Raywall is knocked down, trying to set him up. And back out for Colorado. Claude Lemieux. In over the line. And it poked off his stick. 1-on-1. It'll be McCarty coming in. Shoots. Oh, had that one covered, going down on one knee. Young. Quick pass to center. Lemieux shoots it ahead. Sakic drive. That's stopped by Osgood. Sakic got that one away rather quickly. But Osgood had the angle on it. Sakic again. Dropping it back. Here's a pass. And the attempted shot is missed by Lemieux. 1 point moving up. Fedorov set it up in front. He's harmlessly back to the goal. Colorado back fighting for Denmark. He fell down. Lefebvre has to come back to help. So does Ozolec. And they get a whistle as the Red Wings start pounding in behind Patrick Roy.
This faceoff's going to be inside the Colorado zone as Denmark fell on the puck. So the Red Wings will have an offensive zone faceoffs, and of course, Face-offs become a lot more important when the next goal wins. A good opportunity here, missed on one too many passes perhaps, although Claude Lemieux tried the one-timer, and that's a tough play, especially when you're in traffic.
Ricci is on the ice again for Colorado. Red Wings had a chance winning the draw, but then Yell was on it. Got it out of his own zone, up to center. The fade, trying to stop Johnson. It was upended. The crowd wanted a penalty call. It goes right on at the 7-minute mark of the first overtime. Coffey on the ice again. He has 2 goals for Detroit in the game. Cleared it away down the ice. He got the first to give them a 1-0 lead, then tied it in the third. Colorado had jumped out 2-1. Yeah, moves up and beat Lidstrom. Lidstrom turning up to the middle. That pass will go right on the net. Long takes a look. He sees Erie coming in. Colorado have to come back. Forsberg, he likes to stick handle with it. Tried to fire it ahead, fanned on it, grabbed it again, moved it around pretty well, and shot it in. Colorado changing it. Huey Krupp shoots it back there. Out of the net, Osgood. Ramsey beating it ahead. Stopped by Krupp. He and Deadmarsh. Deadmarsh is bumped. And Lidstrom for the Red Wings gets it out to Ciccarelli. Up with Larionov. Ciccarelli rolls it in. Was hit by Forsberg as he tried to go after it. Forsberg from center, dumping it in. Colorado making changes. Red Wings see that and hurry up the rush. Up it goes to Fedorov, running back, and the shot blocked by Waugh. Stepping into it was Darren McCarty. Got all of it. So did Waugh.
Well, it was a 50-footer, although I do think it gave Patrick Waugh a little more problem than most. Esoff makes a beautiful pass to get the puck to Fedorov, and it's dropped, and here goes the shot. And Patrick Waugh may have been slightly screened on it. He made the save, but he didn't look quite as cool making it as he has many stops tonight.
You got to shoot him in overtime. You get those chances. They don't come often. That was a great shot, but right on Waugh, and the angle covered it. Colorado moving out. 2-2 tie. First overtime period nearing the 9-minute mark. Detroit back. Head ahead. Coffey slipped the high one in a bit too high. Tried to put it into the corner on the glass and went into the crowd.
Well, a nerve-wracking experience for any coach. Scotty Bowman with Dave Lewis on his right, suffering through another overtime. The shifts get shorter. It becomes more important for the players to pay attention because you're going to change every 30 or 40 seconds and sometimes on the fly. And in the first overtime, it's the long change. And if you're not careful, you can get caught out there too long, then make a change and give some open ice to the opposition.
Primo comes on again with Sergei Fedorov. Doug Brown for Detroit. Sakic in center ice for Colorado. Lemieux and Deadmarsh. Hammered in by Fetisov. Off the boards. Konstantinov shot. That's wide. Primo fanned on it. Gets another chance to give it to Fedorov back in the net. Couldn't center it. Now he's upended by Gusarov. Sakic takes over behind his own net. Sakic has Fedorov to contend with, but he gets it out. Konstantinov missed it. Fetisov back. Made it ahead. Brown through center. This is big Primo coming in. Shot is blocked. And Waugh taking no chances now. Fedorov coming in.
Good idea by Primo there. He was tired, Bob, and he knew that he didn't want to get caught halfway around the defenseman, cause the turnover, and then perhaps allow Colorado to have an odd man rush. Not too long ago, Steve Yzerman came out of the hyperbaric chamber And there he heads into the dressing room. There, his wife and kids to see him. Looks like he's walking all right, but he must be fairly seriously hurt to be called out of a game like this one.
First game of the best-of-7 series. The winner to go on to the Stanley Cup Final Championship. Over the glass, into the crowd again. Detroit will get the advantage of another face-off inside the Colorado line.
Well, everybody on the Colorado Avalanche, including the coaching staff, rave notices about Mike Keane. And he certainly is a great example of a player whose offensive statistics don't tell you anywhere near the story or the contributions he makes.
Ricci won the draw cleanly. Adam Foote stepping up quickly. Trying to hit Ricci with the pass and hopped away from him. Bergevin around the net. Ricci caught him. Johnson is there. Puck is frozen. Bergevin fell on it.
Pretty good example there of the dogmatic forechecking by Mike Ricci. It looked like Bergevin had got the net on him. And he really should have moved the puck right away. But Ricci, who wouldn't stop, and right here, it looks like he's got him here. But Ricci hangs on, hooks him a little bit, keeps that stick under, and then finally throws him into Busch Gardens for a ride.
So they change him up again. Larionov comes on for Detroit. Joe Sakic for Colorado. Face off to the left of Osgood. Sakic won it, got it back. Shot doesn't get through. Sakic tries it against Larionov. Sakic takes the puck, gets it back to Lefebvre, shoots, rebound. Osgood comes up with a miraculous save. Colorado almost ending it right there. Osgood has the crowd on its feet here at the Joe Louis Arena. Wow.
Well, first of all, it was a bullet shot from Sylvain Lefebvre that he had to make the first stop on. And we always say, who won the overtime game? It's usually the goal scorer. There's the first stop. Watch this one. But was it the goaltender, not the goal scorer, that won this game for Detroit? We shall see. Miraculous, sprawling stop by Chris Osgood.
The best in the game so far. Just watch, folks. This is great reaction. That's an empty net behind him. Or is it? Oh, my.
Well, Sakic, he's the wrong guy to give the puck to there.
They keep on it. The shot by Lemieux is deflected. This one goes into the crowd, up over the glass. That was great.
Well, here's what the Avalanche thought they wanted. Joel Kenville's got the arms up in the air, goal-scoring stance. And Osgood took what looked like an easy goal by Sakic and kept his team alive.
And we've hit the halfway mark of the first overtime. Osgood, no problem with that one. Right off the draw, Lidstrom now. Detroit should get a big lift on the goalie's save that time, but for call on the icing, he'll have to come back again.
Well, Sakic has got 3 game-winning goals among his 13 in the 96 playoffs, and 2 of them have come in overtime. So he is definitely their go-to guy. And Osgood, I'm not so sure, knew it was Sakic shooting, but you can see he beat the Canucks in 51 seconds of overtime in Game 5, and then beat the Hawks after 44 long, arduous minutes of overtime in Game 4 in the last round.
Puck is dropped in, it comes loose. McCarty is the first one on it. Up to center for Detroit. Slapping it in. Fedorov is on the move against Lefebvre. McCarty went in, bumping his man. Kamensky had a stick on it, couldn't get it out. It's centered. Tipped back to the line where Ramsey tried to shoot it in back of the net. He did. And Forsberg was back there to help for Colorado. His pass down to the right side for Ozelinch. He's bumped. But Lemieux carries on. Fired one at the net. It's kept in there by Gusarov. Pulling away from Cicerelli. He's centered it. Here comes Ozelinch. Comes in. Still in there. Tried to stick handle by 2 or 3. He got by 2, but not the third. Primo in on the boards, falling on it. And there'll be a face-off in the Red Wing zone. But Ozelinch, ever dangerous, walking in.
By far the most dangerous of the Colorado defensemen, and he pulled it by 2 people before he was finally knocked out of the way. And here they go, Ramsey and Forsberg, and then Primo's reaching down, trying to get a whistle. Forsberg's trying to kick it out. Those Europeans, they all play a little soccer, didn't they, before they got over here to play hockey? Many of them warm up. The Red Wings warm up with soccer ball before the game, kicking it around as a form of relaxation and preparation for the hockey game.
This hockey game has gone through regulation time and 11:10 of overtime. 2-2 tie. Colorado winning the draw. Shot deflected and wide of the net. Cleared down inside the Colorado line. Gusarov coming back. Kozlov beat him to it. Kozlov is hauled down. Gusarov goes down. Up on the boards. Detmars can't get it out. Now he does. To Krug. He beats it down across center. Shot in by Klemp. And Osgood is out of the net to stop it. Cicerelli again moved it ahead. He and Larionov can't get it going. Kozlov, the other winger for Detroit, as Adam Foote steps up to center ice and dumps it into the Detroit zone. Sacking one after Fetisov, and then Fetisov takes it. He'll wait. Ricci is parked in front of the net. Konstantinov is nailed by Ricci. He had Ricci tied up, and the crowd wanted a penalty called on Ricci as he lashed out at Konstantinov. Letting them go.
Konstantinov was giving Ricci a little jiggle there with his stick that I'm sure was uncomfortable, and it also wouldn't allow Ricci to get away to play the man behind the net with the puck. So in order to get rid of that problem, he slashed the stick of Konstantinov. And the fans have a look at it here now. There's Fetisov behind the net. Look where Konstantinov's stick is. An uncomfortable spot, I would say. And Ricci slaps him to get it out of the way.
Took the big two-hander and just shrugged it off. Went over to the bench. Colorado inside the line, winning the draw. Shot stopped by Osgood. He'll hold on. 7:35 left in the first overtime.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The Colorado Avalanche are starting to win too many faceoffs in the Detroit zone. And I didn't notice that trend in the regulation time. But if they keep winning them, they're going to get it back. And it can be the first step of destruction for your team if you keep losing the draw.
Shots are pretty close, 6-5 in favor of Detroit. Fedorov slapped it behind his own net. Kaminsky centered it. Red Wings are on it. The defensemen have to back up. 3 of them are away to center. Play goes into McCarty. He's bumped back in the net. Fedorov is in there looking for it, as is Primo. To Fedorov. To McCarty. McCarty tried to center it. Gets a second chance. He's bounced along the boards and falls. Fedorov shoots. Law got enough of that. Centered again. Law down. Puck goes back in the net. Colorado get it out of the zone. Penalty coming up, I believe. Forsberg is down on all fours. Law was going to the bench, and I believe there's going to be a penalty to Detroit, and the fans here are not going to like that. On the heels of the alleged slash by Ricci.
Well, there's a broken stick as evidence here, as Keith Primo laid the lumber across Forsberg. And Forsberg hasn't been off his knees yet. And this guy's a tough customer of all the Europeans. Forsberg plays it most like a North American. You can see him tying Primo up in front. He cuffs him, and here it comes here. Broke his stick right over his leg, right in front of Koharski. A retaliation penalty, Koharski's favorite call. Forsberg certainly knocked the helmet off the head or pushed it forward on Primo, but that kind of split decision is the kind that Keith Primo can't make. He's been a force tonight. It's by far his best game.
Indeed. He's in for 2 minutes or less for slashing.
And it was an icing on the call, so the Colorado Avalanche are going to get the power play, and they're going to get an opportunity to start it in the Detroit zone.
Penalty comes at 13:07 of this first overtime. The Detroit players unhappy. They think maybe the faceoff should be down the other way, but not so. It's coming inside. The Detroit line, it'll be to the right of Chris Osgood. So Primo in the box. 6:53 left in the first overtime. And Colorado in this game one have a power play. Not too happy with their success so far tonight. 0 for 4 on the power play. They've had a total of only 2 shots. Here we go. Detroit have to win the faceoff, and they do. Fedorov is coming out. Fedorov down the wing, jamming himself in along the boards and lost it in Deadmarsh. Turns the other way. Up to center. Ricci shoots it in. Onto the net quickly is Osgood. Ricci after it, back of the net. Young trying to move it out front. He falls. Sakic at the line. Shoots. He missed the net. Here's another. That's deflected right into the goaltender, Osgood. And Chris Osgood hangs on to it.
Well, the Colorado Avalanche on the power play played Joe Sakic on the point, the left point. And Sergei Fedorov had a full steam one-on-one against Sakic, and he played it like an experienced defense. Many forwards can't skate backwards very well and certainly can't make the turn. Scotty Bowman looks like he just called a timeout. Or he's trying to call the timeout here. And finally he gets the attention of Koharski. And the Detroit Red Wings will take a timeout.
Joe Sakic, we don't often talk about his hard shot. Yes, the quick release and the fine wrist shot, but he uncorked the low shot and just missed from just inside the blue line. As you pointed out, Harry, they had him back at the point, and the pass came back to him. He made a step or two, and brother, did he walk into it.
Well, here's the play I'm talking about. Here's a forward taking on one of the more dangerous rushers in the National Hockey League in Fedorov, and he looks like you can move him back and play him as a defenseman. He had to back up. He didn't play the puck. He made the turn or the pivot defensemen have to make and scrape Fedorov along the board. A multi-talented player, number 19 for the Avalanche, Joe Sakic.
Scotty Bowman of Detroit calling the timeout. It's over now, and he has to get his players on. 4 defenders. And a 27 left of the Primo penalty. Lidstrom and Konstantinov are the 2 defensemen for Detroit. Larionov and Fedorov.
And they are the 4 that started the penalty kill, so this was the object of the timeout to get these 4 back.
Forsberg will try to win the draw for Colorado. He does. Forsberg circle back. Short pass ahead. Turning with Sakic. Side of the net with that pass, Kaminsky. He's caught by Lidstrom. Lidstrom gets it out. 1:10 left in the penalty. Forsberg back. Colorado Avalanche stop. Ozelinch tried to pass, rink wide. It didn't work. Now Forsberg takes it, and he moves in. Forsberg is stopped. Ozelinch lost it to Fedorov, and he gets it up there to Erie. Erie will come in for Detroit. It's the shot away, high and wide. 45 seconds left in the Detroit penalty. Look out! A giveaway! What a close call. Brown was in, and Waugh was out. We're still alive here in the first overtime. Straight up the center is Sakic. Sakic gets set. Leaves it in the corner. Lemieux trying to center it. Bergevin made the big play. And it was cleared by Brown down the ice. 13 seconds left in the penalty. Waugh tipped it away from his net. Long pass goes astray. Coffee back. Icing call against Colorado. Only 4 seconds left in Primo's penalty.
Well, a great job done by the Red Wing penalty killers. And Claude Lemieux had a cerebral meltdown right in front of his own net and nearly gave the hockey game away. And how he got away without getting a penalty remains to be seen. But watch what he does here. He's just sauntering around, looks up, looks down, the puck's gone. Brown walks in, and as he goes to the backhand, he's hauled down. But is he hauled down by Patrick Waugh or Lemieux? And of course the fans here scream for a penalty.
Close call for Doug Brown of Detroit. Nearly ended the game right there. 4:56 left in overtime. Primo will be out of the box in 4 seconds. Colorado get the draw. By the time Lefebvre moves it, Primo is on the ice now. Colorado moving out. Pass up across center. Ramsey missed a chance to move it. Then he saw him in his own zone. He couldn't get it out. Red Wings do now. The lead pass comes in off the boards, and Waugh saw that develop. So he stepped out. Big play by the goaltender. Ramsey backing up. Out to the point. He shoots another long one in. And that's called on the offside. Red Wings anxious to move down ice behind everybody. And behind the play, Ricci and LaPointe had some words, and the two linesmen have to scurry back in a hurry.
One thing you don't see a lot of in overtime, especially in the last half of the overtime period, are defensemen pinching, unless they're absolutely sure they've got a forward who recognizes that and gets back to back them up. Fetisov took quite a chance, I thought, in doing that last shift. He got away with it. But the good hockey players do get away with taking chances, don't they? That's part of the reason why they are better than the average players. They know how to do it, when to do it.
Sometimes called the feel of the moment. And the great ones, yes, do indeed feel it. 4:10 left in the first overtime. In a 2-2 tie. Again, another icing. You'll get that often. A quick look, and everybody is covered, so don't give it away. Get rid of it.
Well, Paul Coffey didn't quite get to the red line, and he really wasn't being harassed too severely. And so this little bit of forgetfulness on Paul's behalf will cost his team a face-off in their own zone, as the flip shot ended up being an icing.
Primo comes out again for Detroit. Last change for the Red Wings, so they'll drop it in. Ramsey was on his way out. He is sent back. Fedorov and Sakic square off on this face-off to the left of Chris Osgood. Colorado with the draw on the shot. Kicked away by Osgood. Nice split save to stop that. Scott Young knocked it into the corner. Primo there, going the other way to Fedorov. He'd love to get some room to get started. Bergevin hit his man. Bergevin fell. That's Sakic on the boards trying to work it loose. Red Wings, Coffey. Out with Fedorov. And his pass goes astray. Back in for Deadmarsh. That does not work. The Red Wings lose it. Young flipped it ahead for Sakic. He has to race in there, but he's covered. and he wants to get off with 3:20 left in the first overtime. Here's center. Lemieux played it ahead and tied up by McCarty. Fave shot it as far as the Detroit line, and his second time with it, shot it in deep. Fetisov rubbed on the boards by Lemieux. Kept in by Ozolic. Lemieux winding up. Pass doesn't come to him. Now at the side of the net. Lemieux gets in front. He's stopped. Osgood has it again. With 2:52 left in the first overtime.
What an opportunity Claude Lemieux had, and what a beautiful play Forsberg made on the initial pass to finally get the puck in front of Lemieux. Here's Forsberg turning on a dime, slips it right in here. Lemieux heads to the net. See him coming down the pipe, and they turned their back on Lemieux. Larionov and Fetisov, and he had a free shot but couldn't beat Osgood.
Lemieux coming close. The game is still on. And a face-off coming to the left of Osgood. Detroit getting the last change. We see that now. Fedorov is leaving. Circles. He was supposed to stay on, apparently. Just made the 180 and got back. And Cicerelli is skating back on. Make that face-off to the right. Cicerelli moves on it and comes out. He dropped it back. Fedorov out to center. Chuck. He knocked it off his stick. Cicerelli will chase Gusarov. Out to Ricci. Circles through center ice. Ricci put it ahead. Score! A quick shot from inside the line. And the Colorado Avalanche take the first game. Keane scoring at 17:31 on the first overtime. And it's a 3-2 win for Colorado.
Mike Keane gets his second goal of these 96 playoffs. It was a real quick wrist shot that I really think caught Osgood by surprise. It looked like a harmless rush coming into the Detroit zone, and Keane just snapped it from about 35 feet. Ricci brings the puck through the center and dumps it ahead. And Keane taking it right in here and lets it go. And Osgood either missed it or didn't see all of it. But by the expression he gives you through his mask, he's disappointed as well. And there's the shot. There's the goal, and this game is over. Colorado draws first blood here in Detroit.
So Mike Keane gets the goal at 17:31 of overtime to give Colorado, there's the bench, and they'll be happy when they see that go in. A 3-2 win over Detroit here in game one of the Western Conference Final. Ricci and Gusarov will get assists on the goal by Mike Keane, and again the time was 17:31. I think you're right, Harry. Osgood looked to be a bit surprised, but this one's over. 3-2 Colorado. Here's Scott.
Thanks very much, Bob. Well, here's Mike Keane, got the winning goal in overtime, late in the overtime period. Just react to it right now, Mike. What was that like?
Well, it was very nice. You know, we played very well. I think both teams played well, but we were taking the play to them, but they battled back, and unfortunately we got one in overtime.
What about the fact that you guys laid a little bit of the body on them? They're a tired hockey club. Do you find that?
Well, they had a tough series against St. Louis. They had battled, and they're only had 2 days off, between series. So, we want to come out. We want to be very physical, and I think it paid off.
Congratulations, and go and celebrate.
Thanks very much.
Mike Keane gets the winner. The first game goes to the Colorado Avalanche. They're the 3 stars. We'll be back on Molson Hockey Night in Canada right after this.
We have a very special guest today. This is Jane's dad, and he is the manager at McDonald's.
Okay, just one at a time.
You know Ronald McDonald?
Yeah, I know Ronald, okay.
He makes big foods. He makes a big
Yes, I get to make Big Macs.
You make cheeseburgers?
Yes, I even get to make the Arch Deluxe.
Introducing the burger with the grown-up taste. McDonald's Arch Deluxe.
Problem?
I needed a car, but I was having trouble getting a loan.
Solution? JD Byrider.
JD Byrider made it so easy. They found us this great car, and it's one we can afford.
JD Byrider, the car you want, the credit you deserve, payments you can afford, and people who make it easy.
We got the credit, we got the cars.
JD Byrider.
We got the credit, we got the cars.
JD Byrider.
Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. Brought to you by Molson Canadian.
Eastern Conference Final game number 2 from the Igloo in Pittsburgh. The Florida Panthers lead at 1-0. That's tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. But Mike Keane is the hero this afternoon as the Colorado Avalanche win over the Detroit Red Wings and take a 1-0 lead in the series. There's a look at the celebration as Mike Keane and the Avalanche take Game 1 here at Joe Louis Arena. Thanks for watching, everybody. So long, and we'll see you next time from the Joe.